It's day 2 of CFPH Masters 2025 and even more teams are going to be battling it all out to reach the top of the apex sa ating standings. Kami po ang inyong panelists for today. Ako si Bipolar together with Sneaky Frog, your analyst.
Yeah, very, very exciting day for today, my man. It's gonna be a lot of Davids versus Goliaths, pare. And ayun nga, it's gonna be maybe the underdogs upsetting itong top teams natin, or it could just be another day dito sa ating stream.
Yeah, it's a possibility, pero you know what? I've been instilling this into everybody's minds. May trend tayo every week na 2-1, 2-1, 2-1 for the entirety of those 2 days. Ngayon, kahapon puro 2-0. Ngayon, baka possibly na naman because just like what you said, it's a David Goliath kind of thing. But, you know, we never know because everybody's playing their A game now. And now, let's see. Mabilisan muna tayo before we start things off. Let's look at the tournament discussion kung ano nga bang pinaglaban ng ating mga teams or paano nga ba ang ating format for today. Pero yes, it's gonna be the qualifiers wherein 2 open qualifier legs yung mangyari. There's a best of 1 and a best of 3 series. OQ1 includes the top 2 teams. OQ2 top 3 teams naman. So a total of 5 teams will join the 3 invited teams in the group stage. And that's happening right now. The group stage is a single round robin wherein a best of 3 series ang mga nangyayari. Top 4 teams will advance to the playoffs and top 6 teams will secure a slot to the CFPH regional finals.
Yeah, and para naman dito sa playoffs natin, it is gonna be a single eliminations best of 5. Top 2 teams will of course fly to Esports World Cup, replacing itong CFS Summer Championship natin. And of course, the prize pool is gonna be 20k, 10k for the first prize, 4k for the second, and the third is gonna get 2k here, my man. So there's a lot at stake, not just yung prize pool, kundi yung that first class ticket flight to go to Riyadh for ESWC, pare.
Yeah, totoo man. Yun talaga yung talagang bigger prize yung mga nasa mata ng ating mga players. But right now, we're finally looking at the tournament schedule. Sneaky, for the past few weeks, umabot na tayo ng week number 5 if I'm correct. Kasi these past 4 weeks, dito nagkatikiman yung ating mga players, dito tayo nagkaramdaman. Pero right now, we're getting closer to the end. But yes, it's gonna be great one. Maraming naglaban-laban. Pero Sneaky, I think we can move on to week number 5.
Yep. Yun nga, it's still jarring para sa akin that we're already on the second page of this tournament schedule already as of today, man. And ayun nga, 3 weeks left dito sa ating group stage before we do enter itong playoffs natin. But of course, from yesterday's games, it is going to be 2-0. Team Acceptance losing dito sa Team Secret, and of course, Ubek losing to Pacific, one of the bigger upsets dito sa tournament natin. But of course, we're gonna look at more upsets potentially dito sa Evos, Gaon, and Fervid Execration. We're gonna take a look at the team standings, man. And if you guys are wondering kung sino yung teams na invite dito sa tournament natin, just look at the top 3. Rest of them coming in galing sa open qualifiers natin.
Yeah, very much. Actually, that's a good point to notice na they rightfully took their spot sa ating week number 5. Pacific, though, was really something to look forward to, or something na pinanood talaga natin kahapon na really jarring and talagang napanganga tayo ng mga bunganga natin. But yeah, I think that first spot's gonna be Pacific, Evos Esports on the second, which is gonna be happening later on. They will possibly get the number 1 spot or possibly stay sa ating second spot. Ubek Mania, of course, Team Secret Execration, Gaon Gaming, Team Sentence, and one of our also players for today. It's gonna be Fervid Esports. Possibly, can they get that first win into their bag? Kasi syempre, even though it's week number 5, you still want to put your name in those standings and para mapakita na you're not just a team na on the bottom of the standings. But right now, we'll look at today's matchup para ma-recall natin kung sino nga ba maglaban-laban nito and kung sino nga ba ang ating versus screens. It's Evos versus Gaon Gaming sa match number 1.
Yeah, and I mean, Gaon Gaming obviously hasn't been the best run para sa kanila dito sa Masters. I mean, the Gaon na nakasanayan nga natin within this tournament is, you know, they're solid 5th place team. They can beat anyone that is outside of yung top 4, and including siguro some good map wins up against itong mga higher ranked teams natin. But then, yun nga, no, this Gaon this season looks a lot different. Maybe it is yung roster changes natin, but at the same time, just like the point that I said earlier, no, dito Polar, which is everyone just got way better dito, pare.
Yeah, very much so. Sobrang iba ang in-improve ng ating mga players, and for again match number 2, ito rin naman yung isang matchup na medyo there's really a big underdog and one team na definitely taking the top 4 spots possibly if they do get the chance. Pero yes, everybody, that's our matchups for today. That will be possibly the conclusion of week number 5. Mamaya may kita-kita natin yan. Pero syempre, Sneaky, before we move on, magandang umaga sa inyo, magandang hapon sa ating mga viewers. Keep on sharing the live stream, keep on liking. Sobrang dami nang nanood kahapon. Hopefully we can get that numbers up by today because it's a storyline that is very much different. Pero yeah, Sneaky, anong mga thoughts natin for the matchups for today?
I mean, I really feel like Evos with the state of yung team nila compared dito sa Gaon, I really feel like it's just gonna be a one-sided affair, no? I mean, as much as I do love, Gaon and the players inside of it, I think Jackpan is still a very, very good player. Ellison, obviously, legendary, no? Pagdating dito sa Filipino Crossfire. But then, Evos have already staked their claim up against yung mga ibang teams natin. They're still undefeated. Convincing halos lahat ng kanilang panalo dito with the exception of that Pacific game. And, ayun nga, with Ubek losing, suddenly opportunity para dito sa Evos men to kind of claim that top spot once again, kagaya na nakita natin ng regionals.
Yeah, yun talaga yung name of the game. I question of the day after their defeat kahapon na can the young guns na talagang nagro-rule ng Crossfire Philippines right now really be put down on their top tier spot? And definitely so ngayon ang tanong ng lahat, sino nga ba kukuha ng spot na yan? And Evos definitely is one of those teams na possibly can take over. For the other side naman ng ating matchup, it's Execration versus Fervid, and Execration has fumbled a little bit, naging bumpy din yung kanilang performance, pero right now we're seeing a lot of light. They might pop off, they might also get a 2-0, pero Fervid, with Fervid being their opponents, hungry for a point at least sa ating buong CFPH Masters, it might also be a bumpy road for Execration once again. Pero we just need to see if Lance really pops off later, or even Nomad. But for Execration, Folix is a player that you don't really expect to fall off every time. May kita natin siya, he is the one player na from Execration that can really bring in his teams, especially with CBN, and even Even is also a player that we also look out for sometimes para sa Execration. So sa matchup na yun, medyo for me it's a little bit of a 50-50, but I'll siguro 75-25. There's a 25% for Fervid to maybe get that dub at the end. Pero syempre, you know what? It's Execration. The Wild Dogs are back in town. The Wild Dogs are definitely back here. Pero yeah, Evos versus Gaon Gaming. Just like what you said, Ellison being one of the guns there, and also Jackpan is something na palagi kong nilook out for. Might be might come in close, but it's Evos Esports nonetheless. Yobib, I'm excited to see him once again. Every time I see Yobib, parang siya na lang palagi nakikita natin sa MVP screen.
I mean, it's not a surprise. In all honesty, it's either Yobib or itong si KSA or itong si Zetra, pare. Those three players, the amount of talent na meron sila is absolutely absurd, na to the point na sometimes they can just actually 3v5 yung mga ibang games natin, and Elvin and itong si Keller can just kind of sit back and watch the amazingness ng kanilang mga teammates dito. And ayun nga, no, speaking of Evos, I think we're gonna expand upon yung point na yun with these graphics. Of course, Evos Esports gonna be the exact same 5 na nakita natin from last time. It is gonna be Elvin, Keller, KSA, Zetra, and itong si Yobib, looking excited, ready, bored more than anything, pare.
Yeah, very much so. And looking back at their games last time or last week's performance, may kita nyo, everybody almost hit that top above 1.0 KD na talagang masasabi mo na every single player coming in from Evos is contributing a hell of a lot. So hindi lang yan isang player na nagke-carry ng team, but most of them really are playing out of their hands, even though na meron silang Yobib na kasama, wherein kill per round niya is 92, headshot per kill is not really there, pero AP niya is 69, something to look out for.
For sure. And after yung nangyari, yung Pacific and Ubek game, actually, Zetra's name might actually be put in with one of the best dito, pare, kasi yun nga, KLP, honestly, yun nga, he had not too good of a game dun sa last series dito, but I mean, if Zetra can spot the small vulnerability no ng dalawang ibang snipers natin, could be the era where Zetra becomes the number one sniper. And I can see him becoming it, pare. Kasi tignan mo naman yung mechanics na it's so solid, so fast. His movement is so clean. And if he can keep that going, man, ayun nga, he might just chase forward. We're gonna take a look at the team data, of course, with the exception of Pacific. 2-0 naman ang kanilang lahat na laruan dito, including a 2-0 to Secret and Execration, man. Two very big wins.
Yeah, very, very big. And an almost clean record means that they really are, there's a possibility na talaga makuha nila yung ating top 1 spot. And it just means that ang ating CFPH Masters ngayong year is really, really improved, really, really aggressive, and every team is really up in their game. But yeah, that's your team data and that's your team statistics for Evos Esports para sa lahat ng mga sumusuporta sa ating mga Tigre all the way from Evos Esports. It's your time to give your shoutout sa kanila kasi syempre they need that a little bit of extra push para sa atin. But yeah, I think these sets of players are at the top contender talaga na maging top of the line sa buong CFPH, sa buong Pilipinas ng Crossfire.
Yeah, and that's what the roster is built for, no? I mean, ever since na nawala nga si Tino sa roster na to, I really feel like this project has really taken another form. Yun nga, I think SCJ back in the day, granted na they can get some distance going sometimes in internationals. Itong attempt na to of this roster, I feel like this is the attempt of Evos to try and go all the way, hopefully sa international, no? And I really feel like yung mga tao na nang-aasar dito sa Evos na natalo lang sila sa Baisha Gaming ng ACL kaya hindi sila magaling sa international. Baisha Gaming ang nanalo ng tournament.
Yeah, no?
Like Baisha Gaming nanalo ng tournament, bro. What do you guys want them to do? So para sa akin, I really feel like this team is built for international, man.
Yeah, very much so. And speaking of international prospects, we can call in our interview person for today, all the way from Evos Esports. Ang isa sa pinaka-favorite kong interview every time. Keller, kamusta tayo dyan? Napaka-pogi mo naman, sir.
Okay lang. Magana.
Magana. Mukhang gamit na gamit yung gym dun sa bootcamp. Hopefully, pare. Pero yun nga, Keller, obviously nagkwentuhan na tayo last week na nagtanong ako na kung nag-prepare ba dito yung Evos or hindi sa sa matchup yung last week. Ang tanong talaga nag-prepare ba kayo for this specific na series, pare?
Sobrang prepared kasi talagang hindi na basta-basta mga makakaharap ngayon
Kasi Gaon na.
Hindi porket Gaon, na yun
Wow. This is the most humble I've seen yung Evos the entire time. So we're not interviewing the guy na nag-pop out sa screen kanina. Ikaw, Polo, meron ka pang
speaking of Kellar na yun nga sinaseryoso or you've learned a lot about Gaon or talagang inaral niyo sila, talagang nag-prepare kayo. Ano yung mga changes na pwede nating ma-expect sa game natin? Possibly mga sinabi ni Coach Shane din, possibly pwede mo namang i-share na sa amin yan.
Hindi ko sure kung ano yung mga nagbago sa amin, pero makikita na lang natin mamaya kung ano yung tingin kong nagbago. Kasi hindi ko talaga alam
Basta it's aim for number 1 spot tayo, no? Kellar, after this.
Yes.
Yun, okay. Kellar, it's your time to shine. Meron ka bang mga shoutout, mga pasasalamatan sa ating mga viewers?
Meron. Maraming salamat nga pala sa mga sumusuporta sa Evos at ganun din sa Arcilia. Shoutout sa Arcilia at Arcilia mga manginginom. Mahal na mahal namin kaya.
Ayun. Isang heart para sa inyong lahat. Kellar, maraming salamat. It's a pleasure na palagi ka nandito sa ating interview. Maraming salamat, Kellar. Good luck sa inyong team.
Thank you.
And ayun na nga. That has been itong si KLR, pare. Yun nga, once again, shout out to the Arcilia fam. Hope to join you soon in the Inumans, pare. Pero yun nga, Evos, man, overall, just a pretty solid team. They can barely see any mistakes galing sa team na to na you can point out. Wala silang critical na mistake na ginagawa sa mga maps natin. Like, if they're gonna attempt a push, it's gonna be the most perfect push and you have to have the most perfect reaction, pare.
Yeah, and on the other side naman, syempre, meron tayong Gaon Gaming na kailangan pag-usapan. If Evos Esports is the perfect perfect standard na pwede sabihin, Gaon Gaming right now is a little bit struggling, but we know that they can perform under pressure. Nandiyan naman kasi si Jack Ban, si Frey, si Ellison, si Rayan, si Vincent. Medyo inaanto ko si Ellison, pero syempre, unat-unat lang tayo dyan para umangat mamaya. Pero yeah, Gaon Gaming, one of our contenders para sa ating buong CFPH Masters. We'll be looking at their team statistics. Close to 1.0 KD naman may kita natin for these sides. So there's a lot of promise talaga na Sneaky.
For sure, for sure. I think yun nga, Jack Pan is still a very, very good player, pare. Vincent obviously performing just as expected, no? I mean, he's performing exactly as he did last year. I think yung nangyari lang talaga dito sa Gaon Gaming, maybe they're still not used to kay Frey dito. Knowing naman si Frey, he was very good in his stint during that MJ time. Pero feeling ko di niya napakita dito sa Gaon Gaming. Maybe it's a different environment, different calling. Pero ayun nga, overall, despite Gaon not having a good run so far dito sa Masters, man, I mean, narinig mo naman si Keller, they still demand respect.
Yeah, kasi talagang sa first week pa lang naman natin ng buong CFPH Masters, binilagyan na natin ng name ang Gaon Gaming to be a force to be reckoned with. Sinabi nga natin na Gaon Gaming has a possibility of taking that fourth spot sa buong Team 4 natin. Pero yeah, we'll definitely look at their team data para malaman natin kung ano nga bang naging journey nila. Pero yeah, looking back at their games, a formidable start for Evos Esports ang kinalaban nila, and it was a 2-1 win. Pero after that, it's been a series of 0-2s. Ngayon, Evos Esports really is a tough opponent na makakalaban nila. Let's just see kung ano nga bang maging result later.
Yeah, for sure. And the rest of the schedule looks pretty rough. Parang nga dito sa Gaon.
Ayaw nga.
Ubek Maniac and Execration right after this. Yung nga, granted Ubek did lose dun sa last na series nila. I feel like yung nga, Ubek will definitely bounce back knowing them, pare. Pero Gaon yung usapan naman, of course. And para naman sa Gaon, big win over itong Fervid, but then ayun nga, it wasn't even close nung kalaban nila yung Secret. Team Acceptance definitely was a surprise, man, pero that's where the roster change did come in. Pero yun nga, Pacific Esports with a 0-2 as well. Pero at least yung mga teams na they did lose to wasn't actually, you know, it's not how would you say this? It's not the way na sobrang one-sided. At least may nakikita mo pa naman yung laban dito ng Gaon dito sa mga ibang maps natin.
Yeah, yun yung maganda kapag nakikita mo yung Gaon against another opponent kahit mataas pa yun or mababa, kasi they are there to maybe fight it out. Talagang nagpapakita sila ng performance. But right now, let's look at the interview. One of my favorite players as well, and I think it's also one of your favorite players, Sneaky. Ellison, kamusta po tayo dyan? Welcome to the interview panel.
Ala po. Basta po kaya.
Ayun.
Okay lang kami.
Ayun. Kamusta, Boss Ellison? Boss Ellison, no, medyo mahirap yung kalaban natin na Evos Esports. Ano bang preparation or anong pakiramdam naman na nasa kampo nyo na mga kalaban nyo? Prepared ba kayo for today?
Di po kami prepared. Kung di na po kami nagpa-practice po, parang enjoy na lang po yung natitira naming laban po.
I understand. Okay. Naiintindihan ko naman yung ganun, Boss Ellison, na ayun nga, it's gotten to a point sa season na yun nga, alam niyo na hindi kayo mag-playoffs. Kaya, why not, no? Bossing. Baka may pa-highlights ka naman, isang ace lang, boss.
Enjoy na lang talaga po, enjoy.
Alam mo, that's what I love to see sa inyong buong Gaon Gaming, is that when you are in the server talaga, nakikita naman namin na you guys are still playing and you guys are having fun. May isang tanong lang ako, as an entire team, naging stronger ba tayo throughout the entirety of the matches? Alam naman natin week number 5 na tayo, pero feeling ko naman you guys have grown from week number 1. Naging stronger ba tayo dyan, Ellison? Nang onte, yung buong Gaon Game?
Opo, may mga bad experience po na talagang dapat po namin na iayos yung mga last matches. Kaya maybe next season po parang maging mas malakas or mas mag-improve pa po kami.
Ayun nga.
Okay lang, that's okay. Yun ang inaasahan namin para sa iyo, Ellison, and for the entirety of Gaon Gaming. A better every time and every week na lumalagpas pa sa buong CFPH Masters, hopefully sa next season. Pero Ellison, it's your time to shine. May pasasalamatan ka ba? Kung may shoutout ka ba sa ating mga viewers?
Yun po, salamat po sa sumusuporta po ng Gaon Gaming, lalo na po kay Gaon March, kay Master Laime, at sa mga kagaon po dyan. Shoutout kay Jebrox Gaming, kay Tio,
Yun.
kay Unen, kay Harold, kay Vincent. Yun po. Thank you po.
Well, Ellison, it's just good vibes. Huwag ka mag-alala. Lalaban tayo every time para sa inyo. Maraming nanonood, tandaan mo yan. Gaon Gaming, Ellison, maraming salamat. Good luck on your match later on. Pakitaan mo kami magandang laban.
Salamat po. Thank you po.
And ayun nga, that has been itong si Ellison. I like that he said na babawi kami last season. Kasi alam na ni Ellison that they're gonna qualify sa Open anyways. Kasi, ayun nga, that always happens. And that is a constant dito sa CFSPH Masters na, ayun nga, we are gonna have, heartbreaks, defeat, and we're gonna have Gaon in the tournament pare, no matter what. So, excited to see what the future looks like para sa kanila dito.
Yeah, ako din talaga excited to possibly anong magiging outcome after the CFPH match for Gaon Gaming. Pero right now, let's look at the key players para naman ma-highlight natin kung ano nga bang magaling ng mga individual players natin. Pero of course, it's gonna be Yobeb on the side dito for Evos Esports and Vincent naman sa kabila. You know what, pag tinignan mo naman yung kanilang mga statistics, ang pinagkaiba lang nila halos siguro is the KD, Sneaky.
For sure. And ayun nga, I really feel like the 1.46 making all the difference. I think yung pinaka masakit dito kay Yobib, which is the KR, pretty high KR for an M4 player, kumpara sa mga nakikita natin sa iba, but it is Yobib, man. He's probably the most talented player sa lahat ng usapang Crossfire, at least in the Philippines. So it's gonna be quite a tough matchup para dito kay Vincent. Pero Vincent has had his fair share of pop-off games, para dito sa Gaon Gaming. Maybe they just need to pop off all at the same time para kalabanin itong Evos. But even then, man, I mean, you're gonna have to be on 5 popping off dito, pare, kasi that's how strong you have to be to beat itong Evos. If you are not online as 5 players, Evos are gonna eat you alive, man.
Yeah, definitely. So, yun yung sinasabi natin na talagang if you are up against Evos, kailangan yung power mo dapat kasing galing na mga tigre na galing sa kanila. Pero Gaon Gaming, hopefully all of the 5 players are definitely so na tulad nga na sinabi mo are online later on. Pero kailangan na natin online yung next 2 na makakasama natin dito. Ang ating Jet to Holiday casters is gonna be Daydom. And once again, Mochi, kamusta naman tayo dyan?
Okay naman kami dito. Super excited for the incoming matchup, and I really love that interview with Ellison. Napaka forward thinking ng mentality ng team na to. Even though they've been through a lot this year, they're still staying level-headed and very enthusiastic pa rin sila, so I'm excited their matchup against Evos dito.
Ikaw, Mochi, may thoughts ba tayo after those 2 interviews? Kasi syempre, Evos Esports and Gaon Gaming ang pinag-usapan natin nga.
I feel like yung astounding quality na na-observe ko dun sa dalawang interviews natin is yung matter of acceptance and respect. Especially nung in-interview to si Kellar na despite knowing yung history ni Gaon, all throughout Masters, they still respected, pinag-aralan pa rin, at they definitely took the necessary steps para hindi underestimate yung kalaban nila, which is a very interesting contrast din sa mga past interviews natin with the other members. Tapos para naman dito kay Ellison, siguro nandun na rin yung acceptance na yes, hirap tayo. It's already a given thought. What we can do is to just push through, and then let's see where the wind will take us pagdating ng pagkatapos nitong ligang ito.
Totoo yan, Mochi, pati Daydom. Isa ata to sa pinaka naging naging serious na interview natin, pero fruitful din nonetheless. The respect is there, but right now, kailangan natin maging seryoso ng onte kasi the map veto is here. Mukhang ready ng ating mga players to show ano nga bang pinik and bans nila. Let's look at this. It's gonna be Mexico too is in the boards, and also Ankara, sub-base being the bans here, pati Black Widow, Eagle Eye 2.0 in Compound. I think this is a good set of matches. Ikaw ba, Sneaky, what do you think?
I was actually surprised na lumabas yung Eagle Eye dito sa second banning phase natin instead of the first. Obviously, Gaon Gaming gonna respect yung isa sa mga best maps dito ng Evos, which is that Black Widow. Pero leaving open port is definitely not the choice para sa kanila dito. Mexico 2 is definitely a curveball na Gaon Gaming is gonna try to win on. Pero Ankara, that's Evos written all day, pare.
Ikaw, Mochi, ano sa tingin mo yung mga possibilities natin na may kita dito sa Port Mexico and Ankara?
I actually find it really interesting na pinik nila yung Mexico 2 dito. But it also made sense kasi yung previews na, or yung pinaka-recent na preview show natin, parang diniscuss na rin natin, hindi nila na-expect na pipiliin tong Mexico 2. Pero sinabi na rin ni Coach Rusger na gusto nilang higitan o lalo nilang pag-aralan itong mapang ito. No, hindi siya masyado na-bring up, pero merong posibilidad na bring up. And I do hope that they will make or seize the opportunity na lalaro sila dito sa Mexico 2 na mapa.
Ikaw, Daydum, anong mga final thoughts natin dyan towards this map veto for these two teams?
I mean, I definitely agree with Mochi. It's definitely a learning experience, lalo na when you're going up against one of the best teams in the region, no? Mexico 2. Point of or something you can learn for the rest of the season. Port, I'm not really that surprised because Port one of the maps where Ellison can go ham. So excited ako makita yung matchup dito ni Zetra tsaka ni Ellison, the young star versus the veteran sniper dito sa ating first map. Ankara's gonna be an interesting one. I do hope we get there with Mexico in the way. I think Gaon are gonna tie everything pagdating sa Mexico. So sana makabot tayo sa Ankara.
Yeah, I agree with all of your thoughts, especially with Ankara being their decider. Pero syempre, I think it's gonna be a fun map kasi gonna be fun match kasi syempre, Gaon Gaming, we know na they're playing a little more than fun right now. Kaya pinili nila Mexico 2.0. Ngayon, anong predictions natin dyan? For me, it's gonna be 2-1 in favor of Evos Esports just because nakita ko si Ellison nakangiti kanina. Ikaw ba, Sneak?
Yeah, but man, as much as I love the homie, man, I gotta start being realistic with my predictions, pare. So yun nga, 2-0 para dito sa Evos. As much as there is Mexico 2 dito sa map pool natin, I really feel like yun nga, everyone probably watched yung Pacific game last time. So I feel like yung mga ibang teams natin may have picked up a thing or two.
Mochi, anong
Ako,
prediction natin dyan?
It's gonna be 2-0 for Evos then. I feel like this is gonna be like what you guys mentioned, more of a learning experience than the hunger to win. So I'll be leaning forward that prediction score.
Okay, Daydum, samahan mo naman ako, man. Tuwan na natin yan, brother. Para palagi ako mag-isa sa prediction natin. Daydum, anong prediction mo?
I'm sorry, Polar, pero yesterday nakapag-predict na tayo.
Alis na
sa
ako.
preview master. Wag ko ulit. Teka lang. I mean, kahapon kasi nakapag-predict na kami ni Mochi sa preview show. And I already said my piece about Evos at a next level dito sa competition this year. Granted, we have Mexico for map number 2. Pero kasi BL side yung pagsisimulan dito ng Gaon eh. And we all know how hard that can be. So my prediction gonna be 2-0 in favor of Evos dito.
Well, look, again, it's a 2-1 for me, and it's 2-0 all across the boards other than me. So, medyo, I'm just banking on that Mexico 2.0 map for Gaon Gaming. Pero everybody, on the comment section, you can also predict your outcomes sa ating comment section. Samahan nyo naman kami dito sa ating live stream. Pero everybody, wala nang patumpik-tumpik pa because we are gonna be later coming back kami ni Sneaky and Bipolar. Time to throw it to our wonderful hosts, wonderful casters ngayon. It's gonna be Mochi and Dado.
Thank you so much, Polar. Maraming salamat sa insights mo rin, of course, Sneaky, Frog. And here we go, day number 10, Mochi. Lagpas na tayo sa kalahating point ng group stage natin. It's sort of setting the trend as to what the playoffs are going to look like. Talagang nahihiwalay na yung top 4 teams natin. So Gaon, we heard the thoughts of Ellison. We heard the insights of the team. Nothing to lose mentality. And actually, for me, Mochi, that's a scary prospect for Gaon.
Actually, yung mga ganong mga times kasi wala ka na naman din po patutungan ba kundi pataas, di ba? So, that's gonna be all the more reason for you to try and venture out the possibilities para lalo mong ma-improve sarili mo alongside with the team. Pero kasi ang napapansin ko din dito kay Gaon, despite the fact na well aware sila sa mga weaknesses nila, nandun pa din talaga na nakikita mo na they're trying to shift their mindset into something more positive kahit pa paano eh. So that is what really matters the most. And I really hoping that they'll get to adjust or try to inch further kontra dito sa kalaban ng si Evos, which is definitely nakakatakot din naman talaga pagka Evos yung katapat mo.
Exactly. And speaking of which, you have to respect the amount of respect na binibigay dito ng Evos up against Gaon. We all know Gaon has been around for a long time. They've been around Crossfire for the longest time, and there's no way around that. And Evos, they're on a high. They're definitely the only team that haven't had any losses in the group stage. So pinakamataas yung respeto para sa kanila, no? But they still are giving a lot of props para sa Gaon Gaming. Shows you just how much this team has contributed to the scene in general, and still the amount of talent that they command, no? So we may be in it for a surprise dito. I did mention kanina na in the first map that we have, which is Port, it's one of the signature maps din naman of Gaon, especially with Ellison as your sniper. Alam mo, Mochi, this team kasi as a squad refuses to go the new meta, which is double AWM. Pero okay lang kasi ang lakas mag-sniper nitong si Ellison, ha. I mean,
kaya niya na.
he was very anong tawag dito? He's very humble sa interview natin. Pero guys, this is still one of the best snipers in the country. So, this might be a closer game that what a lot of people might expect, especially sa ating set 1.
Yeah, parang makakategory mo talaga siya alongside Cetra, Charson, and a bunch of the other best snipers out there here in PH. So, yeah, definitely a testament for us to notice as well and worthy of praise. Pero, I really wonder what's going to be ano yung magiging timpla natin para sa unang mapa natin dito sa Port. Lalong-lalo na it's one of the best maps of Gaon, pero pinili din ng Evos ito. So, yeah. I wonder, nang meron.
Because it is the best map of Evos, no? So, one of the best Port players in the world ang Evos, no? So, let's see what Gaon can put up in this first set sa ating first series of the day. Gaon Gaming started off on the GR side, Evos on the BL. So, this is where that Ellison sniper could shine on the GR side. Jackban, the only one with an AK dito sa Gaon Gaming. Is he going to push further than that cut position? Tingnan natin.
Tignan natin, dahil marami-rami ng mga taong tumatao sa bandang mid area wherein there might be some presence na nararamdaman na rin ng Gaon here on the GR side, but also we're just raining upon with the utilities naman sila dito, the flash at the smoke, even the grenades, pero wala pa man ding natatamaan except for Cetra, wherein si Frey lang naman na nakapita sa kanya.
Yeah, good catch from Frey there. Getting a timing onto the sniper of Evos. Mahirap pa sila makapasok dito, but they've already penetrated a little bit of that mid defense. Pero tira mo yung attention na binigay ng Gaon agad to rotate from Ray, pushing up a little bit of an unsafe release there. With Ray going down means it's a 4v4 tayo dito with 1 minute left on the clock.
Seems like masusundan pa man din yan as Jack Ban falls down in the hands of Elvin as they try to put themselves in a better position in terms of commitment sa kung anumang side ng kanilang piliin, pero mukhang sa A-side sila tutungo dito at yun ay kung hahayaan sila ng Gaon Gaming as they try to keep themselves cozy behind the smoke na inilatag dito from both sides. Some shots already being thrown onto each other pero wala pa man din kumokonekta, but it is visible, marami ng sugatan sa nila.
Evos, good job isolating the fights, but they're getting crunched by Gaon. 3 players pushing up. Good reaction from Yobib, who gets a kill with the Colt as well. What an opener mula dito sa Evos. And Yobib with the close quarters combat. Doesn't matter na naka-AWM siya dito at naka-Colt, still getting a lot of the kills in this round.
Yeah, pero by the way, pansinin ko lang si Frey kanina. It seems like super proactive and well-aware siya or hyper-aware siya sa surroundings niya, which definitely gave him the couple of kills, which is a good sign for Gaon as well. But Evos, so I feel like it's just another day for Evos. It's just them being them. So definitely first round gonna be taken by them.
A bit of a change of defense dito. Wow! What an angle. Wala kay Zetra. Split second lang, nakita niya dun si Jackban and immediately Jackban going down. The reaction time, immense mula dito sa sniper ng Evos. And like I said, a different setup, no? Jackban kanina nasa cut, this time pushing down mid, walking straight into the crosshairs of Zetra.
Of course, but wait lang, si Yobi, makikita, Ray is gonna be going down. And there's all the more reason for them to try and rotate dito sa B-site natin habang hindi pa nito na-occupy. Pero meron mga nagkakandapatayan dito as they try to find and see how they would be able to narrow down yung numbers na meron pa dito kay Gaon as ngayon. Dalawa na lang ang naiiwan. Shetra already being able to secure him and another onto Vincent. And hindi pa man din siya magpapatinag. Ito ang problema pag di mo na-pick up si Shetra ng maaga sa isang round.
Exactly. And nakita mo ba yung entry ni Yobib kanina? Siya na yung nag-entry, naka-cult pa siya.
Totoo.
Di niya na inintay si KSA, ano? Still got a kill while holding the pistol, which is super impressive. And it goes to show why he's the most consistent MVP player sa ating Masters week in, week out. Madalas si Yobib yung nakikita natin sa highlights, no? 2-0 start. Exactly. 2-0 start para din sa Evos Esports. And Gaon still yet to find a good D dito sa ating opener. Medyo play safe na ngayon si Jackman. Uy, nag-double na sila. Frey holding on to the second sniper. Okay. And Ellison finding the kill. There you go. Zetra going down early.
Okay, we're seeing them exploring. They're trying new things. And so far, meron na sila nakita and nakuha from that. And so far, Vincent is gonna be receiving some shots from the counterpart as they try to put themselves in a better position dito sa bandang bodega natin. And Gaon will try to put themselves in a more passive and safer position as the time progresses. Total, may isang minuto pa naman tayo dito. They can even offer a retake. Total, they can get that advantage. But Frey would be able to get a pick off in this one. But Elvin will be able to find him out. Trades coming in here, pero si Jack Ban ay makakakuha ng isa as well as Yubib. And unfortunately for them, Elvin will be left alone here without the C4 on his hands.
Malay si Elvin will go the long way round. Oh, is it a bait though? No, it is not.
Nah.
Jack Ban, a good punish. And Frey showing us that he can play the sniper as well. Gaon shifting their strategies, no? I think it's one of the few times na nakita natin naka-double sniper dito ang Gaon. It worked out. Frey coming up huge with the opening kills there. Ellison as well, of course, taking down Zetra, making it a little bit easier for Gaon. Pero ngayon, Evos, a quicker approach down mid. Derecho RS, Yobib taking down Jackman and Zetra with a massive flank, getting a double kill. Papasok ng site. Pero Ellison, dito pa rin siya buhay with the sniper. Will be taken down by Yobib. And now it's a 1v3 for Frey, who has a sniper and a Colt. And Yobib will be saying no. Evos, 3-1, 2-round lead as we head into round 5.
Sabi nga nila, no, you can't outdo the doers of the two sniper lineup. But kita mo naman, well, okay, dalawa yung snipers na kanina. What if gawin nating practice or gawin natin, subukan natin, i-recta na lang natin sa spawn.
Yeah.
And it's just so straightforward for them to do that. Parang, ano na rin nila yun? Paano ko pa masasabi? Parang on and off switch nila. Okay, they see that, this is what they do. Pero,
exactly.
We are just gonna be seeing Evos taking a heavy commitment, possibly here on A site, wherein a couple of members here from Gaon Gaming will be sort of on a chokehold, definitely, as KSA takes out a couple of them and mukhang masusundan ba from the bunch of the team. And now it's all up to Ellison in trying to make his way through the 4 remaining members from Evos here.
Yobib found so much space. Gaon, they couldn't find Elvin, and Ellison's gonna pay the price for it. 4-1 in favor of Evos. Yobib wreaking havoc sa site. Pumasok lang siya, dire-diretso, creating space. He went down, pero sakto yung dating ni KSA, no? The moment Yobib went down, KSA was there to punish. Getting a double, and Zetra again with a nasty kill. Ridiculous shot onto Frey. And just like that, one of the snipers of Gaon down. Pero sasagot si Vincent, si Ray getting 1 apiece. So it's a 4v3. Gaon getting the man advantage, Moji.
Definitely. And granted na rin, no? Meron namang tayo advantage in terms of numbers dito kay Gaon. And we still have the C4 in the hands of Vivo, so they can even try and offer a reset here with the possibility of picking someone off here from Gaon themselves. But right now, dahil pa man ding oras, there's still a lot of ways for them to approach this current situation they find themselves. And Rado ay makikita ni Cetra. And just that quick, he is gonna be out of the equation.
Oh my God, Zetra, what was that? Kakaiba yung level ng mga sniper natin ngayong araw. Not just Zetra, Elson Frey with their own highlights as well. Every kill, quick flick no? So it's impressive stuff. It shows you port as a map. And as I say that, another good shot from Zetra takes down Vincent. On Gaon. The aggressive peak so far not working out with Zetra punishing them one by one. Ellison walang matatakbuhan. Will be taken down by KLR with the wall banks as well. So it's a Jackban 1v3. Okay, Imba. Cutting all the noise. Pero I think Evos have got all corners covered. KLR getting info. I think alam niya na, no? Hindi na siya nagpipeak. Jumps up the moment Jackban makes noise. And that's another round win para sa Evos dito. 5-1 sa ating first half match.
Yep, and this is definitely really dominating feat here for Evos. I mean, we already saw that time and time again. But from what we're seeing here though, Gaon, I feel like they're really making the most out of this opportunity into learning more on which approaches they can do in this map alone. Pero I feel like they let go of that double sniper setup right now. Si Ellison na lang uli ang naghahawak ng And you're seeing quite of a strong stack here at the bridge area. So you might possibly be seeing early pickups from here. Ayun!
Wow! Elvin, what was that? Taking down Ray, kahit di pa siya nakikita. And again, the streak of first kills continue here for Evos. Taking down Ray early. Ellison looking for something. Medyo malalim siya sa LB pero hindi tumama yung shot niya doon. Going for the re-peek. Ellison waded out by the grenade. Pero mukhang babalik. Vincent at the backup. Narinig niya kasi. Nakita niya kasi yung information. There's the shot but the trade is good from Yobib. Another kill in the works. Vincent taking down Yobib. Okay, good start for Gaon. But their sniper is down and B site is wide open. Vincent not done. Taking control of mid. And Evos now down to the last two people. Habang hindi pa nila nakakontrol yung B site. Still stuck in-house. KSA rotating around through mid. Pero mahirap to wala silang info na sa mga players ng Gaon. They're getting struck back into LB. RS play coming through. Vincent searching for KSA. Ayun na. Getting the shot in and KLR all alone. C4 in hand. KLR has time to get the C4 planted much.
Kayang-kaya ata ni Keller itong secure ang objective. Pero ang tanong ay, masisegregate niya ba itong si Jackban as well as si Frey? Nako, kaya ata! Pero it's all up to Jackban. It's a matter of positioning after all. Sino o saan yung aabangan? And he's gonna be hit him where it hurts. At kung kailan siya hindi nahatingin another round here for Gaon after the 4-round or rather the 3-round streak na meron dito kay Evos.
Yeah, I love the play from Keller as well. Anticipating the angle right next to the box. Pero at that point kasi dahil mong kailangan tingnan na angle. No? You have to sacrifice at least one. At yung hindi niya tinignan, doon pumasok.
Doon pasok
dito ang Gaon. Ellison, uy! Good flash from Evos, taking down Ellison. Vincent Ray, though, hindi sila flash. They will be taking one apiece. And Ray, with the wall bang through the window, gets KSA. Pero I don't think alam nila na nandun yung C4, They're gonna have to contest the angle to see the C4. But Elvin, waiting for that contest, takes down Ray. And Gaon, well, they lose one player, or two players, but still have control of that B side.
Afford pa man din nilang lumaban, most especially that they have each other on the same side. But it is gonna be quite a certainty na rin na magro-rotate itong si Evos papuntang A site natin. And all the while that they are doing that, well, I'm pretty sure na makakaramdam na rin si Gaon at this point on na, wait lang, Iba na ata yung balak nilang puntahan na site. There's still a lot of time once again. Cetra though, nakaabang and he's looking at the best time possible. I'm not sure or certain if i-expect niya si Jack Ban though.
I think he is. Hindi pa
Oh,
rin umali
no.
sa RS dito si Zetra eh, no? So he's expecting one more player from Gaon to peek out from LB. But it's Jackban. A little bit smarter on the decision making. Actually finds a timing. Hindi nakita ni Zetra. Nakalagpas na si Jackban. Pero kailangan niya tumingin sa likod. Jackban! Checks the angle! Does get the
Ayun.
kill. Okay, Zetra going down. Good discipline mula kay Jackban dito. And Vincent finding Elvin as well. Gaon finding the kills. Give them that round 3-5. As I said, Mochi, this game actually closer than what a lot of people might expect. But you have to remember GR side is the favored side dito. So Gaon kailangan nilang mag-ipon ng round habang nasa GR pa sila.
I mean, the best that they can do is to get this last round for this half as they can. And wait lang, nabalik uli yung double natin, no? As
Yep.
Frey and Ellison will try to harness that and hopefully it plays in their favor. And C4 natin though, just gonna be lying down there. Alvin taking some damage from the grenade being thrown at him. And of course, the coverage being laid down na rin by Frey. Tahimik so far.
Exactly. And this is kind of conditioning mula sa Evos. Kasi kanina pa sila nagra-rush eh. Gaon. Oh, there you go. They crack under the silence. Elvin taking down Frey. And once more, Evos start with the first kill of this round. Mid-control na naman ang plano dito ng Evos. The yet to find anything for Gaon Gaming. Smokes will be used here. So Evos deterred a little bit. Dilipat muna sa LB. Cat play as well for Yobib, giving them a lot of options. But Ray is just lying in wait sa B.
Wow, wait lang. Medyo nakakatakot yung posisyon ni
Uy!
Ray dito, but he's gonna be able to get that kill. Wonderfully done. And this is already about time. Jack Ban already finding out kung saan pumupunta itong mga member natin from Evos. He's gonna be
Nice.
falling down the hands of
Nice.
Kiz Ado at mukhang masusundan pa. One for each. Isa silang pinapatumba dito ng mga members ng Evos. All up to Vincent, but with such critically low HP and out in the open, he's not gonna be surviving for long. That is the end of our first half. 5-4 ngayon ng ating scoreline. Closer naman than ever, which is, or rather, 3-6.
Yeah.
No? So, we still have some time. We still have chances here.
Yeah, but that's not a lot of room para sa Gaon, no? Evos only have to win 4 more. And Yobib is wreaking havoc from that last round of the half. Jackban this time taking the reins. Taking down Elvin through the smoke will push up. Good nade. Half HP na agad si Freydon. KLR taking down to half as well. Almost going down. Muntik na ma-popcorn. So KLR will be backing off into RS. So good start for Gaon taking down Elvin.
Of course. Definitely one of the worrisome players here with his 10-5 KD as of the current time. Well,
Grabe.
true. Silang dalawa ni Ubib right now. That was to be followed by Cetra din. Pero, currently, what matters here is kompleto pa man din sila. They're even chipping up some damage dito kay Ubib. And this is already an opportunity for them to take advantage of the current setup that they have. They can choose whichever side. There's 2 people occupying each. It's a matter of which angle they can definitely occupy, no? All of them. Since sama-sama na lang sila dito, they can overwhelm them with numbers. But you're just gonna be taking some time at the house B here. You're just gonna be chilling. Playing it safer than ever. And mukhang si KSA ang unang nakakaramdam on this one.
Yeah. Push na dito ang Gaon. Lots of nades being pulled by Evos as KLR goes in with a big flank. Yung site hindi pa rin nakakontrol ng Gaon dito as Yobib joins the fray. C4 goes down. Good angles mula sa Gaon but the nades are just too deadly. Yobib with a headshot and KSA with the rotate gets a double.
Oh, no.
House B the only place that Gaon can hide in but Zetra has come in Yung defuse di pa rin nagagawa, pero naubos ang players ng Gaon. There you have it. Evos with a beautiful retake. And what a two-man play mula kay Yobe but KSA dismantling that defense from Gaon.
Grabe. Grabe, dalawa lang sila dun sa site pero naubos nilang lahat.
Exactly.
Like sabihin ganun ka-caught off guard itong mga members natin from Gaon. Every one of them is trying to look at Yobib and the rest of the people trying to rotate from spawn pero hindi nila nakita yung daga sa isang corner. Unfortunately, pero they might be trying something different here, keeping themselves in a good position papuntang bridge area natin. Di ko lang alam kung i-expect nila si Kellar on that one. Vincent Doga's gonna be looking and staring down that doorstep just in case na meron dumaan doon. But they're not gonna be gambling themselves, no, their lives in this forefront as Cetra is gonna be chilling, waiting for some presence at A, pero lahat sila rito nasa bandang house BLB area natin eh.
I think Gaon are planning for a B split execute dito. Mid control and medyo malapit na sa house dito yung C4, no, in the hands of I believe that's Ellison. They could rotate away. Marami pa namang oras dito ang Gaon, but Evos are refusing to respond to this mid presence. Hold lang sila dito. In case mag-rotate sila sa mid into Cat, there is Elvin lying in wait. And I think that is what's gonna happen dito, Moji.
I'm actually wondering if magko-comment sila dito sa A site, but there's a lot more people there. Kellar be spotting multiple of them. Iingat muna siya, backing up from that and putting himself into safety, but with the possibility of picking someone up in this current situation at magagawa nila yon, even getting two in the process alongside Cetra and Melvin, and every single one here from Gaon will just face their demise. 8-3 scoreline natin ngayon. No? Just 2 more rounds, Evos will be able to take a port for themselves once again. And unfortunately, they weren't been able to support each other during that, no? Sayang, ang dai pa man nila doon sa area na yun.
Para silang inipit ng dingding eh. Parang nagsara yung mid sa kanila eh, no? There was nowhere to go for Gaon. And the crunch was just too deadly for Evos. And what a highlight play as well from Elvin na naman. KLR as well, just melting the forces of Gaon. So it's 8-3. 5 ang lamang ng Evos. Jackban playing down Cats. LA slowly getting controlled by Gaon. They have to be careful of their flanks, no? Kailangan hindi sila maipit ulit sa mid. They have to extend their extremities of control dito much, but medyo mahirap, especially when you consider the positions in A. Ang ganda ng position ni Elvin dun eh. And then you've got Zetra to worry off as well with a cheeky angle. Pero may angle ni Zetra dito. Medyo malalim, pero pwede niya makita yung LA.
Of course, and even so, just as we're saying that, we're already seeing them being taken down. Isa-isa na naman. Naku po, is this such an unfortunate sight for us to see? But it is definitely evident that I don't know, ang nakikita kasi natin POV so far, syempre, is yung sa POV ng pumapatay. I am not quite sure if it's a matter of hindi nila na-out-aim or is it because they're looking at a different angle or position here from Gaon. Because we are seeing them, madami naman sila, no? They can push unanimously. But when it comes to trade-offs, doon talaga sila nagkakahirapan.
Yeah, the Evos are just so creative with the defensive angles dito, no? Kaya sila nahihirapan eh. Especially with that Zetra angle in the last round. Speaking of defense, Yobib.
Ooh!
What a shot from Yobib.
Nasty.
Despite being 1 HP, or half HP, still gets a kill there. And again, from on top of the box, Yobib inubos si Jackban. Yung entry ng Gaon denied by Yobib. And it's down to Ray and Frey. 1 HP sila pareho, pero Frey with the arm still finds Elvin. Okay, good punish onto the push of Elvin. But still, there's 4 people to look out for, and Gaon are running out of time.
It's so scary, man. Pareho sila, isang ihip na lang tumba
Oo
na
nga eh.
sila. Even less than a bullet, no? Pero, they'll still try. I wonder what's going to be the game plan here. You have 55 seconds on the clock, etc. pa ang posibleng makakaharap nila dito. If they can push together, might be a possibility, but Killer will be coming from the back lines, and they'll get taken down. Evos. Wow. Another day for Evos, I guess, as they rummage through the entirety of Gaon Gaming and definitely proving that port is their territory and theirs alone. And that's a 1-0 in terms of our scoreline, and that's crazy. And I feel like we're gonna be seeing more of that on Mexico too.
Well, in Mexico too, it could be different. I mean, as a map, I don't think a lot of teams specialize or any team specialize in Mexico. Port, ito yung ace in the hole ng Evos. No? Ito talaga yung best map that they have, and big respect to Gaon still providing a decent enough fight nung nasa GR side sila. But nung lumipat sila sa BL, well, that's when things fell apart for Gaon Gaming. There were so many interesting angles that Evos put up to the plate here. Zetra in particular, that LA angle, this is the first time I've seen that being brought out here sa GR side nila, no? And it proved effective. Walang smoke line up ang Gaon for that particular angle, which is why it was so deadly in that round. And they're so good at weeding out the numbers of the BL side as well. That last round, medyo naubusan ng oras yung Gaon that 2v4. That's the thing as well, when you are down a man, kailangan mag-push ka kagad, but Evos knew that, and Gaon Gaming did not take advantage of the window that they had. So it was a very convincing win there for Evos. Very, very powerful still. This is still the Evos that we've come to know and respect. Do you think things are going to change in Mexico too? Well, remember, Mochi, it is Gaon na pumili ng mapang to. No? In the BL side as well, medyo mahirap kasi humanap ng strat sa Mexico eh. So do you think with the revamped Mexico, there's a chance that Gaon can come back?
I mean, ayoko nung revamp ng Mexico. I don't even know what they did in it. Pero Gaon can definitely use this map as a way to, improve. Kasi sa coach na rin nila nanggaling, this is their weakest map. So maybe choosing it is just a matter of, what if pag-ensayo na natin. Tas, let's learn from the best, which is yung kalaban nila ngayon, which is from Evos. So, ayun, siguro no? Siguro opportunity na rin to kay Evos since hindi naman natin lagi na nakikita tong Mexico to, no? Like, pagka nakikita natin yung Mexico to, yung magkakaroon ng subtitles yung mga mukha natin na parang, but Mexico too? Like, diba? Hindi natin talaga siya trip. Pero, we are gonna be there right now. And I guess this is gonna be a good change of pace for us. But I feel like may masasabi din sila Bipolar and Sneaky Frog dito. So, ano bang naantay niyo, panel? Take it away.
Isang kalmado at very much a dominating fashion coming in from Evos Esports all the way dito sa ating port against Gaon Gaming. Gaon Gaming though, put up a fight. Definitely so against one of the top teams right now.
Yeah, I mean, itong si Jackban, no? I mean, he did do some things dito sa mapa natin. Vincent had some good shots as well. Pero overall talaga, pagbababangga mo dito yung Evos when it comes to the map of port. I mean, unless your name is Pacific, pare. I mean, this is not gonna work out for any other team that is outside of yung top 3 sphere natin. Pero yun nga, we're gonna take a look at the highlights. And obviously, tama nga yung sinabi ko kanina, no, Polar, na if you're not online as 5 players, hindi nyo talaga matatalo yung Evos kahit kailan. And the thing is naman with Evos is kung sino pa yung actually yung hindi masyado online from last week, Elvin, stepping up to the plate. And galing sa eye test ko dito kay Elvin, no, pag mainit si Elvin, man, it's so annoying to play the game of Crossfire kasi yun nga, bigla na lang siyang lalabas from a random corner and he's gonna catch, yun nga, as per example on screen pare, na it's really hard to keep up with all this information. Parang ano siya, professional na taga-distract, but at the same time, you can also kind of put him in that lurk position so he can get that flank going. And obviously, Elvin, no, we haven't seen too much statistically great games galing sa kanya dito, but this is a prime example of what he can do pag na-allow yung kanyang movement dito sa mapa.
Yeah, we definitely see the prime position or prime Elvin, kumbaga, ang pwede natin sabihin dito ngayon for his performance. Grabe din talaga mandaga si Elvin, yung mga spots na talagang tinitignan niya and the spots that he chooses to defend and position himself. Doon natin nakikita na he can really defy the expectations na against a team na very much nakita natin sama-sama every time. He can still pick off 1 or 2 people and distract them every time and just throw the game para sa kalaban, and that was definitely the downfall para sa buong Gaon Gaming. But still, you gotta give it to Gaon Gaming pa rin. Even though they were not the 100% or 200% for each players, nakikita naman natin Jack Ban was one of the players na nakikita natin as well as si Vincent, just trying to pop off, trying to get those peak outs, trying to get those entry frags para makakuha sila ng onting advantage. But nevertheless, the retakes of the sides and even the defense pagplanta na ng bomba were just overwhelmed by Yobib and the squad of the entirety of Evos. Ito na nga isang part kung saan talagang inipit nga sila. So, sabi nga ni Daydums dun sa mid, para tayong nanonood ng movie ng Saw na unti-unti na lang nagko-close yung lugar ng buong Gaon Gaming, and that was just the prime example as well for Evos Esports kung saan may kita natin they were a team individually very much great, pero alam nila kung paano maglalaro. Right now, we're seeing the set summary, and looking back at it, hindi ko na expect na awat pala tayo ng 3.25 KD para kay Kellar.
Yeah, I mean, the IGL doing the most para sa kanyang team in this map. However, Yobib will overtake him in terms of the AP department, pare. So, ayun nga, overall, great contributions across the board. KSA, you know, it's a normal entry fragger statistic, no, pare. Yung nagmamatter naman dito, all the other players are fragging. Para naman kay KSA, all he has to do is go in. Pero yun nga, man, it's very unfortunate, especially yung statistic dito ni Ellison at Frey with 0 smokes thrown per round. And obviously, napaka-importante na smoke dito. Tignan mo naman si Keller. IGL na IGL, pare. 0.69 smokes per round, as in gamit na gamit yung utility dito ng Evos. Which I think, yun yung isa sa pinaka-strong part ng Evos in general, no? Alam nila lahat ng lineups, alam nila lahat ng setups, especially in international play. Pag hindi mo alam lahat ng setups, kagaya na nakita natin from Evos men, I mean, group stage pa lang, malalaglag ka na.
Yun nga, medyo maganda talaga yung defense ng buong Evos squad dito. Even the entries ng paggamit nga ng mga smokes, paggamit ng mga flash, and you can definitely see na it's just pinpoint accurate na alam nila kung saan nilalagay ito, and they use that to their advantage, and that is what Kellar is using para sa buong Evos squad. Pero yeah, they were just definitely something na hindi mo talaga matibag dito sa ating port map, given that it was their map choice, but still, they are just beautifully outplaying Gaon Gaming. Kellar with a 3.25 KD and 1.1 kill per round, and headshot na medyo mababa, but still the damage is there. He is doing a lot of work para sa kanila, and that is our set MVP.
Yeah, I mean, normal M4 things, obviously, itong si Keller, no? I mean, I think the thing is with the M4, especially with your hard entry, you're not really going for the head, you're going as much damage as possible. Pero yun nga, we're gonna take a look at some of Keller's highlights dito, pare, and let's see what the homie was up to. And, ayun nga, I feel like overall, Keller as well fits yung mold of yung modern Crossfire IGL of being capable of coming up with very, very good stats, but at the same time, yung offensive output pa min hindi maiiwan.
Yun nga talagang naging yun na rin napansin ko every time that we are on the panel. Pagkasama kita, we can see that the IGLs just really popping off. It's not just them calling out the shots. Sila rin yung nakikita natin na doing the hard work and also just relying on his team para ma-back up yung mga ginagawa nila. Pero everybody, that is our first set para sa ating Evos versus Gaon Gaming. Any last thoughts before I throw it away, Sticky?
Hopefully, I don't know, man. Wala akong thoughts for Mexico too, honestly. Anything can happen sa mapa na yun. It's 50-50.
Ito man, talagang it's a 50-50 coin flip. Talagang hindi natin ma-expect, especially for both of these squads. Medyo hindi pa natin alam kung paano sila maglaro. But then again, everybody, ari ba tayo mamaya sa Mexico at pupunta tayo dyan sa pinanggalingan at kung saan magaling ang ating mga players. Magkikita-kita tayo in just a little while. Tayo ay magbabalik after a quick short break. Welcome back to more Filipino Crossfire. Kami pa rin ng inyong panel for today. Ako po si Bipolar together with Sneaky Frog. Set number 1 has concluded with 1-0 going towards Evos. Gaon Gaming right now tries to defy the expectations, letting us travel from port to Mexico.
Ayun nga, kind of feel bad para dito kay Dado kay Mochi, not gonna lie, kasi yun nga, they have to witness Mexico too.
Yeah.
As a map. Pero, ayun nga, I guess we could see some interesting stuff. Obviously, nakita na natin from that Pacific series, yung, yun nga, the additional entrance, it's easier to take it on P-side, there's bigger spaces to play dito sa Mexico. I think it made it actually slightly more BL-sided, no? Yung map na to. But then,
Yeah.
it's still Mexico at the end of the day. It's a really, really small map. Shotguns, I'm not gonna be surprised kung ilalabas dito. So, yun nga, we're gonna have to wait and see if Gaon has anything prepared dito sa ating game.
Yeah, baka ito na talaga yung gulat factor na pwede ibigay sa atin ng Gaon Gaming, might extend it to game number 3. But then again, it's Mexico 2.0. It's the battle ng door mamaya doon. Pero everybody, we're gonna be traveling to Mexico with our 2 casters, Mochi and Daedum. Arriba!
Maraming salamat, Bipolar. And yes, we're going to the best map in the game. Mochi, may tanong ako sa'yo May tanong ako sa'yo. Is it better to watch or play Mexico 2? In your opinion, mas masaya bang panoorin o maglaro sa Mexico 2?
Pwede bang wala? Pero, okay, siguro panoorin. I guess, panoorin because we don't see it that often. So, it is gonna be better for you to absorb some notes galing sa mga pros rather than us playing on our own. Nang wala tayong idea what could be the possible strategies to be played on here. When in fact nga na even yung mga pros is medyo clueless din what's going to be the best thing here for Mexico too. What you should do, especially it is a matter of question like if is it balanced at all even after the adjustments na ginawa dito ng mga developers, di ba? So it's out in the air, out in the open, parang bahala kayo what's gonna happen on that one. So, yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a really interesting map for us to see.
Yeah, interesting is a word definitely to use para sa Mexico 2.0 dito. Alam mo ako, in my opinion, I'd rather play in it than watch it. Kasi Mexico 2, feeling ko yung design philosophy ng Smilegate dito is to make it more sort of an individualistic place. Kasi ang daming corner, ang daming pwede mong daanan, especially with the introduction of yung underground way papunta sa taas, sa terrace ng site dito, sa B, I believe. So, it kind of gives you options to become a rat, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Which is something that rarely happens sa pro play. But in solo queue, kapag ka mag-isa ka lang naglalaro ng rank dito, you could definitely do that. You could definitely catch your opponents off guard. Especially in this map where nobody has any clue what's happening most of the time. So, yeah, it's definitely, in my opinion, more fun to play than watch. But it's definitely an interesting one. For sure. Guys, by the way, in case you haven't read yung pinned comment natin dito, if you have any questions for us or the panelists, kay Sneaky or Polar, pwede nyo ilagay dyan sa comments down below. Your questions might be featured on the live broadcast later on. Or maybe even tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Next week. No. So make sure to comment down below kung may mga gusto kayo itanong, may gusto ba kayo insights na malaman about Mexico or Port or any of our teams or players. Gawin nyo interesting para ma-feature yan sa ating broadcast. Maybe tomorrow, maybe later, maybe next week, no? The most interesting questions lang ang pipili natin, guys. So make sure to make it an interesting one at relevant sa crossfire natin, no? So yan, comment nyo lang. Ma-feature yan sa ating live broadcast. Sasagutin namin or ni Sneaky and Bipolar sa panel. And as we head into our second set of Evos versus Gaon Gaming. Ito, Mochi, tanong ko sa'yo. Ever since Mexico is a map na pinipili talaga in very specific situations. One of those situations is like this, where Gaon is sort of more of a learning experience, trying to catch Evos off guard and then maybe matuto na rin ng mga possible setups. Kasi Evos as a team, no, they are a team that want to gun for that international run. Syempre, kailangan aralin mo lahat ng maps in that regard. So, it's Gaon trying to prod Evos na turuan sila how to play this map or maybe even catch them off guard. Nakalimutan ko na yung tatanong ko sa'yo, Mochi. Pero having said that,
Sige, gusto mo yan eh.
What do you think is the probability na merong mailabas ang Gaon dito na magulat ang Evos? Yun na lang yung tanong ko sa'yo.
I mean, probability. I feel like high possibility naman. What I really just don't understand with the map of Mexico 2 is that it goes on very wide spaces, tas biglang magiging narrow. So, by that pa lang, it is very susceptible to multiple chokes, no? Like, you can be cornered, you can be sandwiched in multiple areas, multiple times, na hindi mo naman syempre mapipili, no? Once na nandun ka na, there's already some pickups, may mga nawala na sa team mo, you already lost some space, you already got some space. So, there's a lot of stuff that you have to consider in this map. As much as possible, you can even take advantage of the coverage na mabibigay dito ng mga boxes natin and the forklift and whatnot. Pero, at the end of the day, it's a matter of game sense and as well as how good you would be able to coordinate with your team alone. So if those are some of the things na gustong i-harness or i-improve ng Gaon on this one, then of course, why not, diba?
Yeah. Fundamentals, kumbaga, no? But I actually disagree with one of your points, no? I think Mexico
Ooh, ano yan?
as a map actually promotes individualism rather than team play, no? I mean, when it comes to becoming unpredictable, at least. I mean, sure, that's been proven wrong over Mexico 1 last year. Dami tayong nakitang Mexico over the grand finals. But I think in Mexico 2, you have more opportunity to become lurkers. And that's the type of playstyle that I think Gaon would fit really, really well. I mean, in Port, may nakita tayo mga times kung saan nagpo-push dito si Jackban, and then lumalalim siya sa Cat, minsan sa LA. I think that's the type of playstyle that Mexico somewhat encourages on the GR side. Which is, or somewhat translated ngayon nung Mexico 2 na on the BL side. So, I would love to see that unpredictability come into play dito from Gaon if ever, they get a chance to do it. Hindi lang tayo magmi-mid, no? Just go for the extremities of the map, which is very hard to defend from, especially that introduction nung door na umaangat with the water area. So, let's see how that's going to go out. It's a
like,
Mexico
what is that? Pero, okay, as you mentioned that, alam mo, naisip ko lang din, andyan si Kalar, andyan si KSA, and they can't even do the same thing, no?
That's true.
Siguro, it's all up to them how they would be able to counter or answer back dun sa mga plays and strategies na ibabato sa kanila ng kanilang counterpart. Pero yeah, I feel like we can definitely lean more towards dun sa part that there is the room for them to a bit more independent. Wow, independent dun sa mga plays na ginagawa nila dito. Pero, yeah, I mean, second time of Mexico 2 being chosen here in the whole duration of Masters. What if hindi pala ito just the second time? Malay mo sa mga susunod na linggo, maging favorite o maging staple pala to si Mexico 2. Ba't ganyan mukha mo?
Wag, please. Wag.
What?
Hindi, kasi ito, Mexico 2, if I were to... Alam mo, ito, Mochi, maggagawa ako ng racing reference. Meron ba tayong, dyan, Formula 1 fans in the chat?
Meron
Lagyan nyo nga sa baba.
yan.
Meron kayong mga Formula 1s in the chat. Mexico 2, para siyang ulan sa Formula 1. And for the fans, you know what I mean. Explain ko sa'yo, Mochi, Sa Formula 1 kasi, kapag umulan, merong magic na nangyayari.
Magic.
Kasi, para siyang yung standings sa ating sa ating group stage. Very clear cut sino yung nasa top 3, top 2, top 4, ganon. Pero kapag umuulan, nawawala yung gap nila between the teams na wala sa top 4. I think Mexico is kind of like that, no? And, in the sense na it's a map where anything could happen, as Nikki said earlier. Just like in racing, if it rains, yung mga traditionally pinakamabibilis na kotse, minsan napupunta sila sa likod kasi hindi nila designed for the rain or hindi lang talaga sila sanay sa ulan. That's kind of like what Mexico 2 is in Crossfire. It's a map where strengths kind of go out the window. Anything could happen, and who knows? Maybe Gaon is that team that can, turn the tides around dito sa Mexico. I mentioned Gaon as a team that loves playing the single sniper setup. Iniba nila yon sa port kanina, no, to try and adjust to Evos. maybe pwede silang mag-no sniper dito sa Gaon. So, it's gonna be interesting anong lalaroin dito ni Ellison. If they do go the no sniper setup, shotguns might be used as well in Mexico. I mean, in mid, it is a little bigger, but you can use shotguns in this map.
Maraming areas na pwede mo paggamitan ng shotgun kasi maraming mahikitid ng mga spots, no? So, we can see, we can, paano na dyan mag-experiment. That's the reason as well why we're casters, because we don't want to be the ones playing here on its own. Pero, yeah, I feel like we're just, by the way guys, kung nagtataka kayo, bakit nagpa-podcast na tong dalawang casters na ito? We're just definitely waiting for our players to be set up, ramped up, prepared, para naman, of course, pagka naglaro sila, is tip-top shape ang kanilang status and hindi sila mamabother or wala silang iisipin at the back of their head na hindrance sa paglalaro nila. So, yun lang yun. Thank you for bearing us and thank you for waiting. Pero I hope that while kasama yung kami dito, why not chip in sa ating usapan and try to comment down below kung meron kayong mga gustong i-bring up and some other stuff and malay nyo ma-feature kayo dito. Tulad ng sabi ni Didom kanina.
Exactly. Baka nga pwede tayo mag-feature ng comment ngayon. Direct, meron pa tayong pwedeng i-feature na comment dyan, no? Medyo madami tayong tao sa comment section natin. Shout out sa mga nanonood natin dyan, sa mga supporters ng Evos and Gaon Gaming. Guys, make sure to show your support for these teams as well down below.
They need it,
they definitely need it, especially now that we are in week 5, no? Week 5, day number 10, our group stage. Palapit na tayo ng palapit sa ating playoffs. Ilang araw na lang ba natitira ng group stage natin, Mochi? I think only week 5, so 3
less
weeks.
than
6 more days of group stage.
So, ayun, 6 days.
If I'm not mistaken,
Grabe, no?
So, 6 days na lang natitira. And if you look at the standings, medyo lumalabas na kung sinong naaangat, no? I'm gonna take a look at the standings real quick habang nandyan ka muna, Mochi. Teka lang, binubuksan ko yung kabila akong notebook dito.
Lumilinaw na yung lumilinaw na, no? Palinaw na ng palinaw as days goes by. Sobrang bilis din ng mga pangyayari here. Despite the fact na every week is meron naman tayo broadcast, may pre-shows tayo. For some reason, nakagulat lang din na, wow, we're already half through the league and half through the year. So, things are just bound to be much, much more better and explosive as time goes by. And shoutout ka pala kay Bowie Polar, no? Alam ko, busy siya ngayon. Ano kaya ginagawa niya ngayon?
Ano nga kaya bipolar? Yung taong yan, madaming sideline si bipolar. Kaya, nakita ko yung ginagawa ni bipolar dito.
Diba?
Sige, bipolar, tingnan natin anong magiging resulta niya. No? Baka pakita niya mamaya pagka nag-panel ulit tayo. Pero guys, we're getting word that we're gonna fix up in just a bit. So sa ngayon, magbe-break muna tayo. We'll be right back with CFS Masters. This is Didom and Mochi, your casters for the day. Huwag kayong mawawala, magbabalik kami.
stage.
And will end that one for the win.
And they win against Pacific Magna.
Call it a night, and Elvin will kill the final member as they will go to the grand final.
The dynasty is still well alive. Pacific Magna will be your 3-time champions of CFPH Masters.
And we're back with CFS Masters Day 10 dito, set 2 between Gaon and Evos Esports. The second time we'll be seeing Mexico 2 sa ating group stage. My name's Daydom here with the one and only Mochi. And we're getting the game readied up, folks. Pasensya na, pero I think we are ready with our players. Mochi, are you looking forward to our second Mexico match dito sa ating group stage? Excited ka ba para sa Mexico?
Yeah. I mean, hindi ako excited sa mismong map. Excited ako sa kung anong gagawin ng mga players natin in this map. Since it's quite unorthodox, no? Kakaiba siya. It's the best term that I can put it. Pero, yeah, and I feel like maraming matututunan yung mga nanonood ngayon dyan, especially if kasama ito sa ating rank maps rotation. So, ayun. Let us see what is gonna be their baons, what will they be cooking, and what's gonna be served on our table.
Yeah, for sure. Especially Gaon, no? Sila yung mauna sa BL side dito, so they have to be creative with this map. Sneaky did mention na medyo naging mas BL-sided na itong Mexico 2 na to. If you were to put it in numbers, Mochi, ito, gano'n na lang. Let's say, yung ibang mapa kasi 50% BL, 50% GR. Ilan yung sa Mexico sa'yo?
60... Joke lang, 75. Ang taas sila. Pero ayan, wala, feeling ko lang naman. I'm no expert in Mexico too. Pero seems like we're already, or there is a potential for us to see some very early engagements here sa bandang water serya natin. Nako po! Buti na lang! Mayroong sangguni dito si Ellison.
Lalim ng push to ni Ellison tsaka ni Frey. KSA taking one down. And Ellison with a close quarter. AWM shot, beautifully executed para dito. There's another one. Kel R going down. But Yobib is also here. Nakatago in the corner. And Ellison has to expect another person pushing through. Sino ba mag-expect na may tatlong tao na magpupush from GR dito sa may waters? I think Ellison is expecting.
It's crazy how this area is being our hotspot right now. But Yobib is gonna be able to take out Ellison after the couple of kills na ibinigay sa kanya or panagkaloob sa kanya kanina, no? Pero currently, medyo malayo-layo ibang mga member natin dito from Gaon Gaming sa isa't isa. But I feel like it's a matter of a pick-off if there is going to be the opportunity for them in doing so. We are already gonna be seeing some shots being heard here from Gaon. And yes, they'll be able to take out Yobeb in that area. But Elvin, though, from one part, he's gonna be able to take out Ray.
This map is so confusing. But Jack Ban hoping to hold the line against Zetra. Medyo mahirap kasi mag-retake with the AWM, no? Have to take every corner very slowly. Elvin nahuli doon sa Jack Ban, and Zetra finds Vincent as well. Oh my gosh. What a retake from Elvin and Zetra. Somehow finding a timing on both of them. And Zetra with the OM as well, finding a kill. Evos, good start in this map. Despite Gaon expecting their push.
It's actually a good thing, no? For the B site, they really had to utilize the waters area when they're trying to pursue, or they're in pursuit of their entry. But currently, Ellison once again looking after any possible people na magpapakita
Binuksan na yung pinto.
doon. Uy, nakita ang elbow, namataan, pinatay at pinatumba. KSA already being eliminated here, but there's still a lot more stuff to do.
And that's the door that I was talking about kanina, no? This an injection point papuntang B side, so hindi pwedeng iwan ni Yobib yung B side, kailangan niyang panoorin yung tear at yung B entrance. So, just two angles that Yobib has to watch because of the door being opened, and yung C4, nilalakad na nga down in waters. Evos currently don't have any information that gives them a sign that it is going to be a B hit. And Gaon top walking their way towards B site, and Yobib expecting. Hinangan natin yung sa terrace sa taas.
Yobib!
Flashes coming through. Yobib, cheeky angle, pero hindi nakita rin siya. Eventually, Vincent jumping down. KLR taken down as well. And Yobib unable to defend that B site. Gaon rather, pushing themselves towards the site. And that's a C4 planted sa B.
Terrace is such a weird mechanic, no? Papahulog ka talaga dyan. Pero, Shetra, just gonna be eyeing any possible people here that can try and take out. Pero Jack Van, well prepared, eyeing on Elvin as Ray takes out Shetra as the remaining person here from Evos. Wonderfully done. And si Sakli Pinipo to take itong B-site natin na napakaaga.
Exactly.
But I wonder if there is a moment here na A-site naman ang pipiliin nila. But to be fair, I feel like it's gonna be pretty difficult to defend once that you put the bomb down na, no? Kasi maraming pwedeng panggalingan ng mga kalaban eh. Uy!
Ellison down early.
Update.
Zetra taking him down. And that approach from Gaon in the last round, I think ganun lang kasimple yung kailangan nila gawin dito eh. No? Yobib taking down Frey. And the spread out approach from Gaon not working out with two of their players down. The deep push from Ray denied as well with the nades. And Zetra sees Jack Ban through the smoke.
Wow.
That's the C4 down as well. Vincent, mahihirapan siyang kunin to, especially with the smoke dissipating now. And Ray far away. Okay, Vincent finding an angle. KLR taking him down. So it's 1v3. Para kay Ray dito, the lurk now has to be the 1v3 clutcher. Uy, actually, Ray finding an angle onto Yobib.
Wow.
Nice timing. But there's still two more people to work out against, and the C4 is so far away.
Yeah, he gotta find this workaround from that one, which is, I think, is nagagawa niya naman, no? For the alley bridge stairs, the forklift, and the outer. Ata siya dadaan dito. Yes, it's not gonna be spotting anyone here kasi malayo-layo naman kanilang area. The question is, what's gonna be the path papunta dito, because KZ tamang bantay lang, no? Bantay sarado tong C4 natin just in case that he's gonna be seeing Ray trying to reach that for himself. No more smokes, so wala siyang coverage, wala siyang choice but to face them head on and be prepared for the worst. Ray, though, not gonna be taking the C4, and KSA will be simply dabbing a couple of bullets onto him, and that is the round end.
Yeah, Gaon, I think they should try and make things less complicated. Komplikado na nga yung mapa. Huwag nyo na akong pakomplikahin yung strats nyo, no? Just do what you did in round 2. Rush with all of your force on one side and let Evos do the overthinking. This time, they're doing the same. I think this is a good idea here, no? Invest rather your players in one side, put the C4 down as fast as you can, and then hold for the post plant. Yan na nga, pushing in. Zetra unaccounted for, getting the double. And Zetra still alive until Vincent takes him down. But Vincent has to fight for angles. And he does. Jackman takes down one. Elvin going down as well. And that's the A site in control of Gaon for now. KLR manggagaling mula sa window will be taking down Jackman. And it's Ellison again in a massive task at hand with the AWM. Has to isolate the fight between Yobib and KLR as well, pero hindi niya nakita si Yobib, so that's Evos winning the round and Gaon unable to push to the site.
Pareho lang din silang nag-aabang dun sa specific corner na yon, which is pretty crazy for us to witness kasi biro mo, naiwasan ni Setra yung flash and been able to take a couple of people with a really quick switch up from the to his cult. So definitely shows, no, who is the dominating one in this lobby so far. But currently, KSA just waiting. Ego peak, no? Possibly another? No? Ellison will be able to trade his comrade out, which is great. But Also, some shots will be let out. Some idea kung sino ang naroon. Ray will be taken down by Yobeb. Really quick in his steed and his shoes, though. Vincent will also up for a trade here onto Keller.
Dali ni Vincent Uy! There you go, Vincent and Ellison both finding one each habang hawak-hawak ni Vincent yung C4 tinanim na sa B. And Elvin finds Ellison but that is just a lurk para sa Gaon. It's B site where the C4 is planted. Daan muna ng RS dito, si Elvin.
Pre, napansin ko lang ang daing nanonood sa likod ni Jack Ban na mga bata. Ang daing niyang audience. Ayan.
Likod ni Vincent.
Nakakaaliw. Ayan.
There you go.
Diba?
May audience. I mean, kahit ako din naman manonood ako sa Gaon if I were in the same shop as they are playing right now.
Ang cute lang tignan.
And there you go, Gaon, speaking of, wins their round. And as I said, they don't have to make things complicated, no? 4-1 split, isang lurk. And it worked. Get the C4 planted in B. Invest all your players in one area. This time, mag-mid play. Standard play coming through from Gaon.
Uy.
And Ray pushing through from Bridge, finding Yobib sa may akyatan. And that's a good opening kill again. Gaon, uy. Spider sense mula kay KSA taking down Jackpan.
Ooh, Vincent. As well as Jackman will be able to take out on si KSA, pero sa kabilang banda, Elvin will be able to eliminate itong si Ray. C4 being hold here from outer papuntang B possibly. I wonder if they will be expecting that Kellar will also be present lurking. Medyo kinakabahan ako kay Vincent. Baka magkakitaan sila. But all fear from Ted is they will try to make their way into securing this objective or this very objective that they need. Frey throwing out the grenade there. Wala pa man ding madadamage from that. Ellison will be spotting out itong si Cetra. And dahil nangyayari, all segregated duels that is bound to happen anytime soon. But we still have a minute on the clock naman that they can work with so far.
Ayun na nga.
Ooh.
KLR waiting in there. It doesn't matter still. C4 will be planted in the site, so KLR still has to find more kills. Lapit ni Ellison dito pero dami niya angle na kailangan tingnan. Looks at the right one. Elvin struck down. But KLR from up above could kill them. Yun na nga. But the trade is good from KLR. And Zetra finds the other one. Vincent taken away. And Zetra with the defuse. That's Evos pulling ahead 4-2.
Well, look at that. Actually, akala ko secure nila yung objective nila dun, no? There are no really good path towards B, but I feel like everything crumbled because of Cetra being in that area that they didn't check, no? Walang na-occupy, walang nagtao. And instead, bro just hid there and waited for the best time to strike. KSA, though, in a really tricky position. Wow! Be able to take out si Ray. Wow! The crosser placement is insane! That's crazy!
Grabe yung flick na yun. KSA. May pa-fade away pa nga with the double kill.
Yeah.
And quite surprisingly, no, much ang daming priority na binibigay ng parehong teams sa TER. Again, this round, no exception. KLR still invested in that position. But I don't think it's got anything to worry about for now as all three players of Gaon are primed towards an A execute. Yung C4 nga, nandito na no? And Jackpan will be able to take down Elvin, guarding down the site. May isa pang nandun, but Jackpan is in a safe enough spot until Yobib shows up, takes down Frey. Wala nang kasama si Jackpan, kailangan lumapit ni Vincent, and the push from Zetra doesn't connect with the shot. Mag-isa lang dito si Jackpan, no? Just playing time until Vincent comes in, but Zetra takes him down. It's all up to Vincent now, who does not have C4. Playing from, actually, the doors.
That's the reason why I don't like the A site din. You can also notice the players are really shifting more towards the B site natin. Ang dai mong kailangan tignan. Which is really annoying. And definitely, makes you more paranoid, no? Oo, mapapa-overthink ka kung ano yung mga anggulong kailangan mong titigan the moment that you try to secure your objective, makaplant ka man din or makapag-retake ka. Pero, sa kabilang banda, Elvin be able to take out itong si Reyno, which is quite unfortunate for him from EA area, but now lots of coverage being thrown here from both sides, while the rest of them will just be anchoring down the specific positions that they find themselves in since kanina pa.
Ray is down. Sa mga lurkers dito yan ng Gaon. But everyone will be coming in quietly from behind dito sa A. Zetra's got no clue. Now he's got an idea. Flash connects on to him. And Zetra connects on to Frey. Kaylee, SA, and Elvin finding one. And suddenly, naubos ang Gaon. Ellison, good 2 kills. But it's not enough. Elvin takes him down and Evos get the advantage already. Kahit wala pa tayo sa second half. 6-2 ang score.
Empty, man. I mean, it's good that we're seeing that they're changing their approach every single time, no? You can see that they are on their path of exploration and looking at the possibilities na pwede nilang magawa when doing an execute. Kanina, they just really focused more on the alley bridge, yung stairs natin. Pero right now, they try to take tong CEA. Sometimes, some of the people nasa mid-area pa, no? Beside the doors. Pero right now, Vincent will be able to take out itong si Cetra early on, which is wonderful. But unfortunately, a quick trade will also be present here from Elvin, and that's all the more reason for them to back out in a bit, even though that some of them are receiving some chip damage. But Kel R, very courageous player, will be able to take out tong si Ellison as they try to pick off every single person din na nakikita nila dito inside.
And now it's Vincent all alone. And there's nothing he can do in the face of Yobib, who pushes the score 7-2 in favor of Evos Esports. Mas malala pa yung lamang dito ng Evos in map number 2. As we head over to the switch of sides, Gaon naman ang nasa GR. So tingnan natin ano magagawa nila dito, Mochi. Mexico is notorious for being GR-sided naman. So there's a chance that they can win 5 rounds in a row para maging 7-7 yung score natin.
Just gonna be checking out in a bit though, since I believe this is gonna be a dead round. So, yeah, I wonder what's going to be the changes in terms of behavior, some approach dito from Gaon, no? Lalo na this already decides being swapped. Definitely, we are seeing some good start from them kanina. Unfortunately, everything crumbled when they tried to do something else than the norm na of going to A and trying different ways into reaching A, no? Pero, right now though for Evos, I feel like eto na, parang ito na yung kanilang magiging pathway na mag-wreck ng havoc na nasa BL side na sila. There is just something about Evos na pag nakita mong nasa BL sila, imposibleng hindi dadal ng dugo or hindi ka mapapawaw or hindi ka masu-surprise or hindi ka I don't know, there's just something about it that if they are on the BL side, sobrang flashy nila maglaro and they definitely get the job done. So, let us see what is going to be the plan of action here by Gaon, most especially that I'm not quite sure what is going to be their look or their behavior ngayon na nasa GR na sila.
It's a big question din naman how Evos are going to execute said plays, Mochi. Because, as I said, Mexico heavily defense-sided, heavily GR-sided for that matter. So, it's still a question kung kaya ba maging flashy, maging explosive ng Evos dito sa mapang to. But, in theory naman, you don't have to be very complicated when it comes to executing in Mexico too, no? You can invest all of your players in Ter, papuntang B. Lahat kayo tumalon pababa that B site and magugulat na agad yung kalaban mo, no? Because of the way this map works. You don't have to be unpredictable because playing normal in this map is unpredictable enough. So, that's something that Evos can take advantage of, but it is a GR-sided map at the end of the day. So, Gaon Gaming, they could stronghold their defense and it could work to a certain degree dito against Evos, but it's still a question of fundamentals, how well they're going to fight Evos in the fundamentals department, how well they're gonna out-aim them and how well they're gonna take advantage of the micro things you have to learn when you're fighting a 1v1. For example, yung mga peekers advantage, yung mga crouching, when to crouch, when to tap walk, when to imba jump. It gets a highlight dito sa Mexico 2, coupled with how instinctive you have to be. Instinctive you have to be in this map, no? Kasi most of the time, that's how Mexico works. There's so many angles to look out for. Kailangan mo na lang naman pakiramdaman kung saan manggagaling yung kalaban.
Lalo na, no, sobrang thin pa naman ng walls here sa Mexico 2. So, ewan ko, pwede mong buong laro, magtapwa ka na lang. Maninipis kasi yung walls, and then the spaces are, yes, they are segregated, pero once that has certain sound triggers, alam mo na kaagad kung nasan yung kalaban eh. So, that is definitely something that they should take into consideration, and maybe yung mga grinders natin dyan in the comment section kung dalas-dalas silang mag-rank. So, yeah, I guess those are some things that we might anticipate here from Gaon, and some things na Evos might look out for. I mean, they play GR side first on this one. So, I feel like meron na silang idea siguro kung ano yung magiging plans ng Gaon when they want to try a strong defense, if I may say.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see if the Ter priority is still going to be there for Gaon. No? Kung matatandaan mo, Mochi, round 1 pa lang nag-push na agad ang Evos in Ter, expecting the play from the door. So, let's see kung magagawin din yun ng Gaon dito. No? They did put a lot of priority on the BL side there as well. And I would expect nothing less from Gaon Gaming. Quick recap muna tayo para sa mga bagong dating dyan. No? We are already in set 2 of match 1 between Evos and Gaon Gaming. The first map was Port with a 10-3 scoreline. Evos ang nanalo sa Port. And now we are in second half. Ang score natin, if I'm not mistaken, is 7-2 in favor of Evos. And let's see kung makabawi ba ang Gaon paglipat nila ng GR side. Uy! Meron tayo ditong i-highlight na comment galing kay Boss G. No. Okay, Boss G. Sobrang ganda at ang laki ng binago ng laro ng Evos before nung una. Lalo na nung kinuha nila si Zetra. Question ba yan? Question ba yan, boss? But if it is, yes, I absolutely agree, no? Zetra is the newcomer of Evos but has been taking the spotlight, fitting right in sa Evos roster natin with the likes of Yobib and KSA and KLR, of course. It's been a phenomenal run for Evos. Actually, sila lang yung wala pang talo dito sa group stage, Boss G. So, yeah, absolutely. Ang ganda ng ginanda ng laro ng Evos lalo. Which is hard to imagine, Mochi, considering they are one of the two teams na napadala na natin internationally.
Oh, tsaka, ewan ko kasi nung pre-show na unang-una, diba, si Boss 02 yung naging kasama natin noon. Tapos tinanong din ni Bill, ewan ko sino tanong sa atin noon, parang tinanong ni Bill, ano ba yung naging adjustments na kailangan gawin? Marami daw. Pero pag tinignan natin, parang hindi sila nag-adjust. For some reason, Cetra fits like a glove dun sa team. Yeah. So, that's crazy. Like, seeing that, hearing it from them firsthand, well, you can already see how good they are, how seamless his integration is doon sa team nila. Pero we are gonna be back here in Mexico too. Once again, natingon na kaagad ni Eleson ng kanyang kailan to Yobe, but meron agad sa kasagutan dito sa KSA. Gusto na nila tapusin dito kaagad. Every single one of them will be able to take itong ating side on A, and it's all up to Jack Ban how A is going to address this one.
1v4. And Jack Ban has got a mountain to climb. Yung una niyang makikita dito is potentially gonna be Zetra. Actually, we'll be taking the long way around. Kaso nakasara yung pinto, boss. There's no way to open it.
Yeah.
And yeah, Jack Ban's just gonna be waiting for any potential stragglers mula sa Evos dito. With time ticking away, that is going to be the round for Evos. And this is what I was talking about kanina, no, Mochi? You don't have to be complicated as the BL in this map. Because the map in itself is complicated. You just have to push, rush, and it could work. And it did for Evos dito.
Ano na lang eh. Uga-buga push.
Exactly. Tinan mo, hindi in-expect ng Gaon, and Evos knew that. 8-2 score natin dito.
And Frey is also going to be receiving some tad bit damage from the mid area, which is really interesting. No, ganon kaaga, ganon kabilis. We are even yet to hit less than 2 minutes. Meron na kaagad sugatan dito from Gaon. Some shots being lit out here. Ellison and as well as Keller masyadong malapit sa isa't isa rin. We're yet to see any casualties from this one, but it seems like water is a favorite spot from both of our teams.
Medyo binagalan ng Evos yung approach nila in this round. And Gaon, making a little bit of movement from PA.
Ooh.
Ray creeping up, denied by Elvin. That's a key kill. That's very important para dito sa Evos, no? Because it's easier to push down A now. Or B actually. Kasi nag-rotate na dito si Vincent. Will be taking down Zetra. Sniper taken away for Evos. But Vincent is down as well. So, anong adjustment ang pwedeng gawin dito ng Gaon? Pwede sila mag-push. It's Jack Ban that's taking that responsibility for himself. Pero babalik siya dito sa B-site. Mukhang nakakaamoy dito si Jack Ban. And his instinct might be right. I think B-site yung pupunterihin dito ng Evos with Frey. Crunching up. Finding the kill and the double as well. Okay, good push coming through from Frey. And that leaves KSA all alone si Jack Ban. Naka-shotgun pa nga dito. Boom! One shot kill rather for Jack Ban. And KSA not expecting that gives Gaon the round.
Well, seems like that's pretty much a good reaction then from Gaon, no? The moment na naramdaman nila yung parang nagbabalak atang mag-rotate tong si Evos, which is interesting. I wonder why they did that. Pero it seems like they're quick into their reactions and what they should do in order to prevent them from getting in dun sa B-site natin. But right now, it seems like they are gonna be hovering towards sa bandang alley natin or sa arco. And baka may idea na rin si Frey, no? Baka naririnig-rinig na rin mga full tippy taps and footsteps na meron dito kay Evos from that. And they're just gonna be looking for a possible first blood if magkakaroon man and if he decides to push forward.
Shotgun na naman dito si Jack Ban. Deep into, right behind the door. Ali play coming through and Ellison expected by Elvin, but Vincent is going to trade him out. Oh, a good pick from Vincent, taking down one. But it's traded out by Zetra dito, 2v2. As both teams struggle for A-side control. Oh, what a pick from KLR, jumping up above the box. Si Jack pa na lang natitira, pero naka-shotgun siya. Has to push up closer, takes KLR down to half HP. And KLR, pwede kang mag-rotate papalayo. Hawak-hawak mo naman yung C4 at lalapit na si Jack Ban. And yun na nga, KLR backing off. Has a minute to play with. Pwede pa mag-rotate sa B site. Layuan mo na lang yung shotgun na yan. The Jack Ban, who is still running on the hunt. Hinahanap niya dito si KLR.
Ang hirap ng posisyon niya, no? In order to get into a better angle or makapag-switch up ka ng angle mo, kailangan sumilip ka dun sa shed. Or I don't even understand what you can do there. Pero sinubukan ni KLR. But he decided, you know what, ba't ko pa pinapahirapan sarili ko? Dito na lang ako sa V-site and it's all up to him here. If meron nga ba or madedefuse ito ni Jack ba, he's taking it in. You already got an idea, but KLR will be able to catch him. Bago pan din niya ma-defuse yung ating C4.
Yeah.
One more round.
Yeah. And, well, Jack Ban knew as well na it would take too much time to clear Ter. So, hindi niya na tinignan. Pero andun si ano eh. Was that KLR? Yeah, that was KLR. So, Zetra will be the one to take an opening kill this time. Ray going down early and the push was not done, but Frey says nope. KSA good trade onto Frey and now it's a 4v3 in favor of Evos. Pero yung sniper nila nawala dito, Zetra taken down. But still, good start for Evos. will also take down Jackban. This is all but sealed unless Vincent can do something about it. Pero isa-isa na nga pumush ang Gaon Gaming. And Vincent hindi magpapahuli as Evos takes the round and the win 10-3 sa Mexico. Exactly the same scoreline in Port, and Evos with a clean sweep against Gaon Gaming.
And just another day for Evos, sabi nga nila. Like, every single week na nakakast natin itong si Evos, I feel like they're just busy being themselves or making the most out of their day in trying to take out yung kanilang mga oppositions, which they will willfully do so. And nice try for Gaon. Seems like they learned a lot, no? Even us, we got the chance to brush up our call-outs sa Mexico too, even if it's one of the maps that we don't personally like. And I'm pretty sure the community has the same sentiments as well. Pero at least in here, we can see visibly that we are trying or exploring all the possibilities that we can in between this map. And of course, given na rin and granted itong K-Port. Kasi K-Port, parang ano na eh. Parang given na rin na, wala, masters na sila Evos dyan. And all that's there to do is to, once again, make the most out of it and learn the most out of it.
Yeah, Mexico, definitely an interesting experience, no? But Evo showing us that fundamentals really matter in this map. And I think my takeaway from this map is on the BL side, you don't have to be too complicated. Just pick a path, go to it, and it should be good to go. The problem is finding out those players, where their positions are. That one particular 1v1 between Jackban at saka KLR, no? Ang hirap ng posisyon ni Jackban because you have to look out at so many angles. I mean, despite the fact, or regardless of the fact kung naka-shotgun ba siya or naka-rifle, ang dami niya pa rin kinailangan i-clear. That's what makes this map such a headache. Is there's so many things that you have to do before you can do your job. So I say just don't do it. Just rush in. Just get as much space as you can on the BL and hope that it works. And Evos definitely did that. Came out of the gate swinging ng BL side nila, no? And Gaon unable to find enough space on the GR side. Much less on the BL side, leaves us with a 10-3 scoreline yet again dito sa Mexico. Definitely one for the books for Evos as they stay undefeated sa ating group stage. And I think
Grabe.
Evos looking good to take that number 1 spot sa ating group stage.
Yeah, I mean, di na rin, parang yun yung mga types of things na hindi na tayo magtataka if that happens, no? Parang evident already, and we've already seen the signs, we've already seen the evidence, we have seen how they play, we already seen their behavior din, no? Yung mga strong personalities nila na if they can, they would do it, and ganun sila din kasimple rin kausap. So, well played for Evos. It's another 2-0 series, and nice try for Gaon, and I really do hope that we can see more of them, and I'm pretty sure that they would deliver that very soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see and hear what Sneaky and Polar has to say about that Mexico map. So, panel, take it away.
At ayun na nga, nandito tayo ngayon sa ating panel together with Sneaky Frog. It's analyst time para sa ating Gaon Gaming versus Evos sa ating Mexico 2.0 map. Sneaky Frog, we expected the 2-0, especially you guys, Daedum and Moch as well. Pero a dominating fashion coming in from Evos Esports, parang it was very, very, very hard for Gaon Gaming.
Man, it's very tragic siguro yung nangyari sa series na to. Granted na we were a bit excited. Some of us were excited siguro for Mexico too. Obviously, I think Mexico, no, now watching and looking at it from a pro level siguro, pwede kong sabihin yung mapa na to really strips it down to the bare basics para yung ginagawa dito sa Crossfire. As in, like, if yung fundamentals mo talaga hindi maayos sa laruan na to, you are gonna lose every single time sa mapa. But we were looking for depth We're looking for depth, we're looking for strategy, and obviously, you can't find it that much dito sa Mexico. So yun nga, straight up labanan talaga yung nakikita natin dito, man.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, especially sa mid fights natin. Everyone is just getting fights like 2v3s, 3v3s yung nakikita natin doon. Tapos it all ends up with a 1v1 situation kapag nasa site na sila. Pero yeah, Mexico 2.0 was an interesting choice for Gaon Gaming. They got some rounds against Evos Esports. Again, we're seeing a fun match against these two teams. Pero Evos Esports really is just showing that in any map that you put them, they know how to play it. In any map that they know how to team coordinate themselves. Just like what you've said, kung hindi mo talaga alam yung mapang to, if you don't really know the basics, if you don't really have the aim to out-aim your enemies, hindi mo makapanalo yung teams na yun. Pero yeah, it's a 2-0 for Evos, and right now, it's looking pretty good for them kasi mamaya, may kita natin yung standings at the end of the day. It might bump them up or possibly still put them in the rightful place. Pero yeah, Gaon Gaming going out with a 0 here, medyo very sad for them. But yeah, it's a good thing pa din. It's a learning curve para sa Gaon Gaming.
For sure. I mean, considering yung circumstances ng Gaon Gaming dito, I feel like an Evos win was not gonna be here anytime soon para sa kanila dito. Ayun nga, yeah, props to Gaon still. I mean, despite not... this is probably yung game remove them from contention galing dito sa playoff. So, yun nga, it's been a very nice time itong Gaon Gaming. To be fair, yun nga, new roster, low-key expected bago magsimula yung season na magdidikit yung old roster dito ng Gaon, but it seems like they had different ideas, and ayun nga, maybe it is the circumstances, maybe Evos is just too strong, man. And I feel like kagaya nga na mapa ng Mexico too, if you have a team that has a very solid communication, kagaya nga ng Evos dito, it's so easy to re-up or at least back-upan yung mga kakampi mo dito, considering sobrang bilis ng rotations, and the active communication talaga yung magiging susi pagdating dito sa Mexico kasi you're gonna be running all over the place as soon as may onting presence man lang sa isang side ng mapa. And this just goes to show na pagdating talaga sa communication game, I mean, Evos are the best, man. I've seen this in real life. They're calm, cool, collected, man, pagdating sa mga ganito.
Yeah, totoo. Pero nakikita ko rin naman sa player camps natin na everyone is talking, everyone is communicating, and once you have that communication set in stone, you're just bound for greatness. You're just bound to win. At yun talaga nakikita natin. And you can already see sa ating mga highlights, we can always see Cetra just popping off with that AWM, with the pulse every time. Through the smoke kills was just too intense para ma-handle dito ng ating Evos, and just looking at Elvin as well, looking at Yobib, and as well as Kellar, even KSA, were just playing out of their minds. But for Gaon Gaming, Ellison was one of the players that really shined, and as well as si Vincent, as we look at these highlights, na makita natin na even though they were outnumbered, even though the scoreline gap was becoming even higher, they were still putting up the numbers. Sometimes we get them up to 10 kills, may kita natin yung statistics later on once it's finished. But yeah, putting up the numbers still, it's still promising, even though they're up against that top 2 seed team, which is Evos Esports. Nakikita rin natin doon na nilabas na nga yung shotgun coming in from Gaon Gaming. It's just nice to see that even though under pressure, even though they are at a very large margin against Evos Esports, they're still playing fun, they're still playing good, and they're still battling against these teams.
Yun nga, it gets to a point na you're just gonna start tracking stuff dito sa mapa, and hopefully it does stick. And yun nga, it did include yung second appearance of the XM1014 dito sa ating CFPH Masters. As we take a look at the set summary, Keller, another banger game. I feel like makakausap na naman natin si Boss Keller mamaya right after this. Rest of the team, pantay yung kanilang statistics. You'll be taking a backseat on his lawn chair, pare. Oy na, may bit of a spoiler. Pero yun nga, yeah, Yobi just chilling, basically, man. He was watching his team frag.
Yeah, parang yeah, parang...
Just witnessing.
Yeah, sorry to cut you. Yeah, parang talaga no? Si Yobib medyo nag-clock in lang talaga, tapos he just went to work and just did what he needed to do. Yun lang basically nangyari for Evos.
Yeah, it's not yet time to clock in yet, man. Tignan mo naman yung... I'm actually curious about yung schedule dito ng Evos. So they're gonna have Acceptance and of course the probably the best series that we're gonna have dito sa ating CFPH Masters, which is that final week 7 matchup pare of UM versus Evos. So I can't blame itong Evos, no. Yung itong napansin ko kay Keller sa interview, they're more locked in than usual, pare. And I feel like mas nagiging locked in sila more than usual. Granted, natalo yung UM dun sa last na series nila up against PM, pero feeling ko nararamdaman na ng Evos na, ito na yung opportunity for us to get that first group stage. Let's be serious, lock in, and play our best game. And feeling ko Keller definitely had a very best end game. Pero yun nga, set MVP is gonna be, ayun nga, Mr. Keller, of course, on that Mexico map. 2 MVPs in a row from a 3.25 to a 2.50 pare. Yung wealth bit more spread out dito sa mapa natin.
Yeah, very much so. You know what? KLR is still fragging it all out, even though he's the IGL. The same kind of stats almost compared sa ating set 1 for KLR. So, the consistency is there. You can definitely see na, just like what you've said, Evos Esports have locked in. Evos Esports really are aiming for that number 1 spot, and it looks like the doors are opening for them even more. Hindi na nakashut yung doors, hindi na kailangan susian pa. It looks like they just need to claim it, they just need to lock in even more, and they just need to be consistent. And that is what we are seeing every time that they are on the broadcast sa ating show. And right now, as we are at it, it's just too intense, looking back at the highlights and sa mga pinapakita ni Kellar, it's too much to handle.
Yeah, 10-3 to 10-3. Too much to handle indeed, Mari. Only scoring 6 points in between yung dalawang mapa natin. Obviously si Keller, this kid came from the rifle role. Obviously, he was the initial second rifler yata right behind dito kay Yobib to try and get some offense going para sa kanyang team. But now, the swap of the role to the IGL. To my surprise, kasi hindi ko talaga in-expect na si Keller to be on the IGL role considering his nature, pare. Pero it seems like they're passing with flying colors, man. Itong si Keller, pare, pagdating sa grading ng IGL siguro, 100% to me.
Ay, naku, parang it's just a question na talagang alam na natin yung mga sagot talaga. So definitely, I agree with you on that. Yeah, Keller really putting up his team in the place that they are supposed to be. Let's look at the match MVP sa entire series natin yon sa 2 matches that these 2 teams played. It's none other than Elvin with a 1.67 KD. Elvin, welcome sa ating match MVP.
Yun nga, snatching it from the hands dito ni Mr. Keller. But at the same time, I feel like AP is more representative of performance dito sa laruan natin. And he definitely filled up the AP charts. If you guys don't know what AP is, minus deaths plus headshots. So, more heads you take, the higher it is. And it seems like he hit plenty of it, pare. 18 for him. And Elvin, man, just like how I said it, pag mainit si Elvin sa mapa, he is the most annoying player you have to deal with. He is gonna pop out of a random corner. His lurks are so annoying. Tignan mo naman to, man. Hindi nakatingin si Ray. And that's an often mo yan makikita pag mainit si Elvin. He will catch you not looking.
Yun na nga parang in the midst of a pack of wildcats, merong daga na nasa likuran mo palagi, and that is Elvin. And you definitely described how he plays very much so. Talagang detalyado. Alam natin na Elvin can frag it all up, but once he is on that peak, kapag he is in that flow state, parang lahat, oh my god, nandito na tayo agad. Pag nasa flow state na tayo, talagang may kita natin na he is really something to look out for. Pero yeah, Sneaky, it's time for us to interview the one and only match MVP for the day. It's Elvin coming in from Evos Esports. Kamusta tayo, Elvin? Gumana lahat ng mga plano nyo?
Hindi, baka panahon lang ngayon kaya gumana.
Na-timingan lang, boss?
Oo.
Na-timingan lang, nagkataon lang talaga na yun nga, tumama lahat ng tira, nag-MVP si Elvin, coincidence lang yun, pare. Pero yun nga, Elvin, obviously palapit na ng palapit yung matchup nyo with Ubek Maniac dito sa week 7. Feeling ko mas nagiging seryoso na kayo for the coming weeks, men. May naramdaman ka ba na nag-shift yung ugali ng team kasi knowing na may ganun na matchup na palapit na?
Wala naman po. Parang lang. Parang depende na lang kung anong resulta mangyayari.
Ayun nga, a man of few words, more results-based itong si Elvin Polar, no?
Okay, Elvin. One more question para sa ating MVP. Congratulations sa pagiging MVP sa buong match nyo against Gaon Gaming. Looking at the state of Evos right now, nagiging mas stronger kayo, mas nagiging something na talagang tinitignan ng ating mga other teams. May mga thoughts ba tayo dyan towards your next few matches? Kasi medyo pabigat din ang pabigat coming into your last week sa Masters. Ano yung mga plano na pwede nating makita going towards the last few weeks sa Masters?
Last few weeks?
Ano yung mga plano? Yeah.
Sa susunod o sa susunod na laban?
Na mga matches nyo. Yeah.
Siguro relax lang.
Uy. Underrated thing, pare. Underrated thing pagdating sa laruan is to relax, man. Hindi pwede puro laro. Kailangan nyo rin mag-relax dito, pare. Pero yun nga, Elvin, may babatiin ka ba yung mga Evos fans? Hindi lang
Dami.
dito sa Pilipinas, kundi sa Indonesia as well, man. Labas mo na yung listahan.
Oo, naalis
Labas mo
pa
yung
na.
listahan, pare.
Shoutout sa sa Arcelia family, tsaka sa Bito family, kay Melanie, kay Angelica, kay AJ, kay Coach Ciruto, tsaka kay Sob, tsaka sa Navarro family, tsaka sa girlfriend ko, tsaka sa family ko. Tsaka sa supporters ng Evos, tsaka sa mga bashers, shoutout sa inyo.
Ayun.
Ayun naman.
Lahat talaga. Pati basher, kailangan natin ayun, no? Kasi syempre, it fuels up the blood of Evos. Elvin, maraming salamat sa inyong time. Congratulations sa buong squad and for you being our match MVP.
Thank you po, thank you.
Congratulations. Good luck sa next matches.
Ayun nga. I mean, it's quite the victory para dito sa Evos. At the same time, I'm so happy na Elvin finally got an MVP kasi
Yes, sir.
the amount of vitriol this player has been getting ever since ng ACL, it's straight up unacceptable, pare. I mean, yung The Flame is so uninformed, pwede kong tawagin, na you just don't know how effective this guy is pagdating sa pag-apekto ng mapa, no? So, ayun nga, he showed you guys.
Yeah, totoo. Nakikita na natin yung full effect ng individual players, and even Elvin getting that spotlight means na everyone na makakalaban ng Evos, next time you have to look out for even Elvin and the rest of the squad. It's not just one player. It's not just Yobib. It's not just Kellar. It's everyone in the team. So kailangan nyo abangan yan. Pero everybody, that ends our first matchup of the day. It's Evos Esports versus Gaon Gaming, ending out with a 2-0. It's a crazy matchup and it's a crazy Sunday, everybody. Sneaky, any last thoughts before we go to a quick break?
Yeah. I feel like this is gonna be another David versus Goliath battle for our second series. Hopefully this is the time na makakita tayo ng something galing sa Fervid, man.
Yeah, hopefully talaga. Kasi yun din kung may inaantay tayo sa Gaon Gaming, also Fervid, we need something na talaga magpapakulo ng mga dugo ng mga Fervid fans at para mag-root for pa talaga tayo and para turn yung tides around. Kasi syempre, their contender, their opponent later on is also aiming for that very, very much easy spot later. Pero everybody, we're gonna be going to a quick break. After this, magkikita-kita tayo sa ating matchup number 2. We'll be right back. Kami po ang inyong panel. Ako po si Bipolar together with Sneaky Frog. This has been CFPH Masters 2025.